Here he comes. I'm slapping him.
All right, we're streaming. We're getting it going for the first live PokeyTalkTime. Special guest tonight is Tom Franklin. It's your favorite show, your favorite live podcast, VOD, vlog, whatever the hell you want to call it, on Twitch. Tom Franklin, a very talented artist, a musician, comedian, good friend of mine. I think we click really well together. I think if he had a vagina, I might try to get with him. So let's get Tom Franklin up in here. Hi, Tom. How you doing?
What's up, everybody? How's it going? What you doing, man? I'm glad to be on PokeyTalkTime.
You're so glad. I know.
Yeah,
On the America's number one Twitch stream.
I would say you're in the top 1,000. That's still good.
All right, so first thing, man.
So, what's up, man?
First thing, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, because I know you, but they don't know you.
All right, so so my name is Tom Franklin. I'm born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Was in the military, got married. Now I'm in Germany. Started doing music about 20 years ago. You check out my bands, Lamera and Inertia is not online, but maybe one day I'll pop something up. I have another band right now called Gemini, doom metal, and doing comedy for about minus the big C, about 5 years, and I've been doing landscape painting in the meantime. That's about it, man. I got couple Facebook pages, Tom Franklin Art. I got a YouTube channel, Tom Franklin Art. Hit me up. You know, let's get it going, man.
That's a lot of words, Tom.
Yeah, words.
But it's true. I mean, like, to be honest, like, when you start talking about stuff when we met and everything like that, we do have a lot of parallels together, you know, with the Army and painting and like just doing a bunch of shit, trying to be creative because we have
musicians. Yeah, you do music too, man.
Fucked up childhood, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to get all that pain out.
Yeah. Your dad died and mine's alive, so it was pretty awful both ways.
Instead of shooting up our schools, we decided to make paintings and say shit in front of people on stage.
Yeah.
So like the one thing I forgot. One thing I forgot to add there, though, was that you're also an impersonator.
Oh yeah, I do many impersonations, man.
Yeah, the one I usually see you doing is a man with an egg for a head.
Yeah, it's my Beldar Conehead thing I got going on, and I see you like to impersonate like meat hanging in like fucking slaughterhouses. I see.
If I could be so good, I think the best rip I had on that was myself, actually, when I said that I looked like a hot dog that got microwaved.
That's right.
When I'm naked.
That's right.
And
you told me. This is what you told me. You said Tom Franklin's the kind of comedian that if archaeologists were to dig up his skull 200 years later, they would have a new season of Ancient Aliens. That's the best description.
I said that?
Yeah. Dude,
I don't know if you know. I don't remember shit I say, especially nowadays, man. I take Xanax and shit. I take some Xanax every once in a while to keep myself from like losing it, because I'm constantly.
I just jerk off, man. That always seems to work for me.
Well, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out. You know, like it just the times doesn't come. So like, I don't know why, dude, but I just constantly like, it might be because of the Army or whatever, but like I'm always thinking of ways of dying. So like, I spend my whole day picturing in my head the way that I'm gonna die. Like when I'm walking down the stairs. No, like walking. No, most of the time it's not self-inflicted. Most of the
I know
time
that
it's
feeling.
accidental, but sometimes it's like driving down the road like, oh!
Dude, for me, dude, I'm like over 40 now, dude. My fucking reaction times just slow down, dude. Like if I get out of bed, I'll pull a muscle. Just sleeping, dude, is just
That's
it's
that's
been
so the
fun.
reason why I started like having more sympathy for old people, because I'm like,
No shit, dude.
I'm fucking 37 and I'm already like, when I stand up I feel like lightheaded. I'm like, dude, man, 30 years from now, Jesus Christ, like, it's
Dude,
bad.
I'm happy when I take like a good shit. It's gotten to that, like you take a good shit, it's like, man, that was shaped like a colon, bro. This is great, man. And you know that like that is like I got prostate problems now, so when I pee correctly, I'm like so happy. Yeah, but it's gotten a little better, but yeah, dude.
Is that your
It's that
excuse for having getting your prostate massaged? Is that
no,
you've got
it's an excuse.
problems?
It's an excuse for standing over the toilet, looking down at my penis like I'm giving him directions in Spanish, and nothing's happening, bro. And it's just man, it's been hard, man,
That would
but
be a good.
fun.
That'd be a good segue to go into what we want to talk about later, but I'm not
What,
going to.
catheters, or
No, I wanted to do like 20 minutes about catheters. If you're
Ooh,
cool with that. No,
yes,
talking about because
Catholicism.
you're gonna be moving in a little while, and but I want to get into that a little bit later. I want to
Okay.
go back to the constant fear of dying. Because like the thing that you brought up with like the taking a shit thing, that's super
Yeah.
real for me now because of the diverticulitis. Because
Oh yeah.
yeah, the first time it happened, it was like I woke up, I'm like, my tummy, and I went and I took a shit. That's what I did. I go, my tummy, and Christina's like, what the fuck? And
Right?
I went and I
What's with
took
the
a.
voice?
I went. She's like, what's that voice? Like you get that in your stomach, and you're like, my
Wow.
tummy. I went and took a shit, and
Yeah.
then like it felt like it didn't all come out, like it was
Whoa.
still in there, and I was like pushing. I'm like, that happens sometimes, and you're like, oh, whatever, I'll just go take a walk or something, and I don't know why I'm talking like this, but
Oh,
take for a walk,
fucking
and
Bobby Long
then
Island here.
it'll
Yeah.
come out later.
Yeah, take out shit there, right? Yeah.
It'll
And
come
for me,
out
dude,
later.
what happened to me last year is I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had a hernia. I had three of them actually.
Oh
So,
yeah, I
yeah.
forgot about that, dude.
Yeah, so I'm at work and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like right next to my dick. Like, what the fuck is this? And then I would fart, it would feel better, and then it would come back. And and
So you had
then
like a fart intestine stuck by your dick?
okay, okay, on both sides of my junk, like where the elephant trunk starts, on both
Yeah.
sides, on the right, well, your left, it would be a bulge, right? And I would have to take a shit, and I didn't notice it at the time. And then like one day I seen this bulge, and I was like, what the fuck? And like my dick would look
Getting
like
a
you would
third
ask it.
testicle.
It looked like you were asking my dick a question. Would you just steam up your camera there?
Yeah, I don't know what the camera did.
It's all you're all weird right now. There it goes. There it goes.
It's
Yeah,
a
and then
fucking
like
fly. If Fly decided he wanted to be on the show too.
there would be this bulge, and my dick looked like you asked it a question. It was like, I don't know. And then I would take a shit. It was like, wait a minute. It's like, come to find out, I had three hernias, and I had to take care of three of them at one time. So that was fun.
All good
Yeah.
things come in threes, they say. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the next one would be
Fly.
death.
This fucking Fly, yeah. Life or birth, life, and then death.
So let me get this straight. You got overweight and diverticulitis. I have a big head. Prostate problems, and I had a hernia operation. One of them is fixed, so we're like 50-50. You're going for the poopy, I'm going for the pee-pee.
Yeah, and then
It's like Bert and Ernie. It's like Bert and Ernie.
yeah. Do you still have like worries sometimes that you're gonna have that again? Because every time I go to take a shit, I'm like,
Yes.
is this the day that I'm gonna have to go back to the hospital? And like a couple months ago, it happened again. Like where
Yeah. Remember, we were trying to do this.
yep, we were trying to set up this first one, and then I was in the hospital again.
I wrote
because
you,
it
and you were
just
like,
happened.
dude, I'm in the hospital. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it happens, man. No, I'm not really worried about it so much, dude. It's like it's gotten better, man. Ever since I stopped doing, I was been working shift work for fucking over a decade now.
Where you work at
And
Abu Ghraib or
yeah, I was doing shift work at Abu Ghraib.
Guantanamo Bay?
I would, I would like put them in pyramid shapes, and then fucking, I would shit on top of the pyramid, and it was like my thing, like where I was like, yeah, fuck Egypt or whatever I was doing. Yeah.
Did you
So
make
I don't
it?
know where we started with.
Well, like they were making them like posing
I'm
them
not
in
good at
weird
riffing.
sexual positions and stuff like that. That seems kind of lame. I'd make them like
We
go
all,
on a date together and like sit down and have like candlelight and make them
oh yeah,
actually make it like romantic. Like
yeah, I would make them just get like coloring books and just make them because we've all watched enough porn to know there is no such thing as a weird sexual position, especially after you've
yeah,
seen I think it's called A Baby in the Bathtub. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen that one.
It's pretty bad.
It's like Ahmed, you're supposed to color in the lines, and not
Yeah,
all you have written here is "Death to
to
America."
America. Yeah, and there's like a missile firing down onto my face, and I think I am now Italian or something of that nature.
The most fucked up thing about that, like, is I wonder how many of those people were actually guilty of doing something. Like, I wonder how many of them were just like walking down the street. I don't know what did they did. I don't think
Oh,
they
the
have
ones they
grocery
snatched
bags.
up and put in Cuba.
Yeah, I'm like
Oh,
wondering how
okay.
many of those were actually like legit. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple parking ticket felons in there.
parking tickets.
They just double park
Jesus
in Iraq
Christ.
and they throw them in a prison.
We got a viewer. I don't know if they're actually watching or if I
Yeah.
don't see
Oh,
anybody
this is
writing anything.
yeah.
But yeah, another thing I wanted to bring up. I just was talking about. Let's see. So you lived in Baltimore,
Yeah.
and we have a little kindred thing going on with that too. Me being
Yes, we do.
raised in Detroit and you in Baltimore,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we every once in a while go on that. So
I think we
is it
got you.
worse there right now? I think you guys got us right now because there's like
Yeah, with the
nobody
ball.
in
Yeah.
Detroit right now.
Because most of the people that were causing problems in Detroit, the white people, they all moved the fuck out. They all
Oh,
moved out.
yeah,
You
those
know what I
evil
mean?
white people, they
Yeah,
finally
this
moved
fucking
out.
yeah, man, it's just horrendous. But Baltimore's really fucked up, man. It looks like, I mean, I remember when I went back in 15, I was driving around. And I was like, I cannot believe that I was like born and raised here. It's crazy, man. Just look up, go on YouTube and type up driving through Baltimore worst ghettos. I lived like maybe 5 blocks from the worst places of Baltimore. So at least in my informative years, I did move around like a gypsy. So
Yeah, me too. Like
I
I
don't know if
was,
that's politically correct.
I moved around. Yeah, gypsies, not cool anymore. Like they were cool
Yeah,
with it for a while, but then eventually, like
but it's not like they have a
everybody.
homeland. It's true. It's like they have no homeland, so they move around and traveling like carnivals or trailers, wherever the fuck they're in, and that's what
Yeah,
we
you're
did.
just stating a fact. You're not saying like,
No, it's not a bad thing.
they've
It's not a
got
bad thing.
they've got like magic, gypsy magic.
I did it. You know what I'm saying? The
You had gypsy magic,
Yeah, but yeah,
like
Jew
that
money.
movie Thinner. You walk up to people. Somebody walked up to me and went, "Fatter," and that's what happened to me. I gained like almost 100 pounds since I was
Yeah,
in the
man. So
military.
yeah, but I think I don't know if you're a sports fan, but I think Baltimore's playing Detroit this weekend. I don't think it's looking good for you guys.
Well, Detroit, just the only thing it's good at is murder, and it's not even good at that anymore. So
We got you beat on that. I think they
yeah,
had like the crime rate in Baltimore like was so bad in 17 they had to like fire the fucking police commissioner, and there's a lot of like it's like corruption in the police force where they're planting drugs that's been proven. It's a really bad place, man. Freddie Gray, that dude got killed there. It's just a horrendous place.
yeah.
But we have crabs.
We've got crabs. You can get a couple types of crabs, and you can eat a crab, and you can get crabs in.
You can literally
Baltimore
have
pretty
crabs
easily.
and go buy crabs at the same time.
I remember I went to Baltimore when I was in the army, and
Where'd
like
you
me
go?
and some of the army guys.
Fort
I went
Meade or
to
something?
no, I was at Aberdeen. Proving
Aberdeen.
ground,
Okay, yeah. That's right.
For
That's right.
AIT. And
Yeah,
then
that's right between Philly and Baltimore on up near Bel Air up that way.
Yeah, and we would take like cabs and we'd go to Baltimore on the weekend to have fun.
Yeah.
And I remember a few funny things happened. One, this dude came up and like I was taking a picture of these two dudes I was hanging out with there, and this guy came in fucking what do they call it? Photobombed me,
Oh,
and
behind you. Okay.
I gotta find this picture. He photobombed me, and he was holding a little bag up, and I didn't realize like until later on when I look at the picture, he's holding a bag and it's got like a fucking rock in it, dude. He's like this, like this fucking random dude walking by just photobombed me with this crack bag. Like I just got some crack.
It's a crazy place, man. It's not all of it. It's not all of it, but like most of it.
Right.
It's
So
got its good neighborhoods too, you know.
so that right, and then another thing, we were at a strip club, and
Oh, fucking Baltimore.
yeah,
Oh, you ain't catching me there.
but this one guy, he fucking threw his dog tags to one of the strippers and she got it, and I'm like,
Oh my god,
doesn't it
dude,
have your
that's not
social
bad.
security number on there, you fucking moron?
I mean, you could have killed him first and just stuck it between his teeth and threw his head on the stage. It'd have been the
But
same difference.
but like but this one stripper ended up talking to me and she asked me for my number for whatever reason. I was like, what? Like, why do you want my number? Like, you're
Right,
just a fucking stripper or whatever.
right.
I ended
You're
up giving
playing
her
it.
my number anyway, and she ended up writing me all the time, like, "Hey, how's it going? How you doing?" and everything like that. And I'm like, I immediately just thought, oh, she's trying to get some dude that's in the military, you know, because they get that military money and shit like that.
Yeah, they see
She's
you.
like,
Yeah.
I got a son, and I want you to be his dad and shit. I'm like, I don't even
Oh,
fucking know
we
you.
know
Like, I
you.
didn't even fucking
Uh,
do anything with you. I was just some dude you talked to at a fucking strip club.
but I did go to a strip club a lot when I was in. When I was stationed. Well, when I was downrange. You went to Iraq. Or no, was it Iraq?
Yeah.
Yeah, you went to Iraq. I was in Kosovo, and we went for a weekend furlough, like a 4-day weekend. We went to was it Macedonia on Lake Orchid, I think it's called. And we went to the strip club down there, and all they played was like one Jay-Z song the whole time.
It's like the only song that they had that wasn't like.
No, these chicks, they were hot, man. They was hot. And every time they would put their ass on the pole, we would like slam beer and go, ass pole, ass pole. Yeah, we just got drunk the whole time, man. This one guy was like, hey, you guys want to have this sticks? We're like, yeah. They were like, oh, you come with us in taxi. I was like, yeah, that ain't happening, man. I'm from Baltimore, man. I've been, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
I got
yeah, that was wild.
I got ripped off by a dude in Baltimore. It was the same night. Um, this guy came up and it was like we were waiting to go in the store. It was a huge line. This guy's like, hey, what are you guys doing? He was talking to us. He's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm buying a pack of smokes. He's like, oh yeah, I know that guy in there. I can get you the smokes, no problem. And like all I had was a 20 on me. I'm like, all I got is a
Like,
20. You got change? He's like, nah, it's so cool. I'll just go in there. I'll give you the change. And then, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. He goes, here, take my jacket. So I held his jacket, and he went
yeah.
inside, walked right to the front, got the smokes, came out, fucking handed me the smokes, and took the jacket. And he's like, yeah, cool, man. All right, talk to you later. And fucking took $15 from me.
Mm.
And like at that point, I'm like, is it
Why
really worth?
why couldn't
Is
you
it
go
really
into my
worth?
cigarettes again?
What?
Why couldn't you go in again? Why couldn't you go in
Because the
again?
store was packed. There was a bunch of people, and I was waiting to go in because it was so full.
Oh, and he
It
was
was like a
standing in line or
small
something.
kiosk type thing, like.
Okay.
And I'm like, should I really like murder this man on the street for $15? Like, so
No,
he ripped me off of $15.
I remember being one time at this place on Pratt Street in Baltimore. It's called it is called this. It's called Polak Johnny's.
Pull up, Johnny.
And my mother and me and my sister at the time. I was young. I was like 6. My sister was like 5, and we went in there. And my mom's sitting down eating like a hot dog, and this dude came in and he was like, "Can I get a bite of your hot dog? Can I just let me get a bite of your hot dog?" And mom was like, "No." He was so persistent, man. It was so weird. It was like at least 10 times he asked. And he was big too, dude. He was bigger than I am. So Remember being walking down the street with my mom, this dude on the bicycle riding next to her. So, what your name is and shit. I was like, what the fuck, man? It's a rough town, man. I've seen so many fucking junkies and needles. I mean, I used to walk in the alley, dude, barefooted as a kid and seeing needles. You know what I mean? It was you had to put on shoes, player. We used to shoot rats from the back of our house and shit on the weekend. Get drunk and fucking get a BB gun and a pellet gun and just shoot rats and shit. Rough fucking. I mean, rats, dude. Like the size of footballs, man. It's a rough place, man.
You have
But
like
fucking
rats as a pet because you don't have any money, so you have to catch wild rats and keep them
and
as a
then,
pet.
yeah, and then like shave them down and paint them pink or something, like they all do. Some fucking weird people. If like I stay away from girls who have fucking pets as rats or snakes. Yeah, anybody with a snake, man, no, this is my
Hey,
snake. All right. So
so tell me some stories about your dad. I remember your stand-up. You brought him up every once in a while.
one time I brought him up and you remembered it.
Yeah,
My dad is
because it was hilarious. It knocked me on the floor.
yeah, he was just my dad was my dad is a hardworking dude. He did a lot of stuff to make sure that we survive, but a knucklehead at the same time too, you know. So on the weekends he liked to get hammered and like they'd all fucking whatever, just listen to loud country music in Baltimore, right in the middle of town. You know, around us all hip hop, and we're listening to Jam and fucking Conway Twitty. And he would. I just remember one time I was telling you about it. My dad, he he bought this new stapler gun, and we had a hardwood floor in the dining room. And I had my pajamas on. He just got drunk, and we would wrestle. He grabbed me, slammed me on the floor, and just stapled me to the floor. And he was like, he was just like, get up. I was like, I can't. He's like, it's a good staple gun, isn't it? He's like really proud of the staple gun he got. He's a crazy fucking dude, man. Like all his friends, that's my dad's the guy that you don't fuck with. All of them. All of them know that. I would like today, if you and me were to square off against my dad, I'd be like, we're gonna lose, bro. He would be 67. Like, what's today's date?
Today is the 24th of September,
Okay,
2021.
in 2 days he'll be 67. I'm telling you, man, he's that guy. He's got that big blockhead like me. It's like a Rottweiler head. And he's got like a big scar on his head. That's where someone hit with a wrench. Then he took the wrench and beat him half to death. And he's that guy. He's that guy. Truck driver, drinks beer, farts, shit like that, and yells at people. A little racist. Sometimes a lot of racist. He says things that I don't even want to repeat them. You know, it's just like, oh my god. Yeah, he's a crazy dude. Let me see other crazy stories about my father. Jeez, man. There was a time that he fucking beat his friend up at his house. Like he was talking. His friend got drunk and talked shit, and then he fucking punched him so hard that he fucking bruised his heart.
Oh,
like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, my dad's a bad motherfucker, man. He's that guy. He's that guy. And he's like, I told him not to put his hands near his pockets because I know he carries a knife, boy. I don't fuck around with knives. You know that. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. And how was your dad as a person?
Well, until he died, he was kind of a crazy guy. He did a lot of fucked up stuff. Like he one day he didn't come home from work and just drove to Florida and left my mom at home with me and my sister. He was just, I don't know, he just fucking tired of it, I guess. Tired of having my mom made his wife.
Jeez.
But no, like people always tell me, a lot of stories about stuff that he used to do that was funny. Like my aunt's birthday party, some dumbass put him in charge of like decorating for her surprise birthday party.
Uh-huh.
So he went in her room and got all of her underwear and started hanging it all around the house, so that when everybody came in, and to surprise her and everything like that, there
Dude,
was
that
just fucking
explains a
underwear
lot.
all over the place.
That explains a lot, dude. I swear to God, that explains. If you people out there in TV land have never seen this man stand up, that explains a lot. Yeah. My dad was a very disciplinary person. Very disciplinary. Very matter of fact. Fuck you. I'm going to do what I think is right kind of guy. And if he won't listen to anybody. He's very pig-headed, and set in his ways, but he's a good dude. He means well. That's funny.
Yeah, sorry, I had a little thing in there. I was trying to edit my stream. I had it listed as like some video game, as a video game that I play.
Yeah, the
So
fucking Mario Brothers here.
So the person probably watching was looking at
what
that.
the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so like the first half hour we're on the wrong thing?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. It's the first time around.
It's being recorded. I'm gonna re-upload it to YouTube and Facebook and shit. So.
Okay. Hopefully it will be funny eventually.
Wait, has it been funny now?
No, I don't think so.
So, you're fucking gonna have to. You're moving. So you used to live in Baltimore. You moved to Germany with the army, right?
Well, yeah, I was sent to Germany after AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training, from Fort Gordon.
Advanced.
And individual, one man.
So
yeah,
individual.
and then I got stationed in Germany, and then 6 months of that was in Kosovo. Came back, met my soon wife to be at the time. I had to go back to the stateside after 2 years. You had to go back stateside, and then we married over there. And then I moved back to Germany in 2002 and been here ever since.
And now you're moving to Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. So my wife is half German, half Mexican. That's a nice combination. And we were trying to move back to the States, but everything is like, it's so locked up. You can't do anything. And I got to get out of here. We got to get out of here because this place is crazy. Yeah. Especially with their COVID regulations here. Are just, they've gotten on my goddamn nerves. So Mexico it is.
I know it's starting to ramp up too with it. So
Again?
I actually went and did a COVID test today because
because of your second.
Oh, I had the vaccine, and then I've been having like fluid in my lungs and shit like that for the last week. So I thought maybe I actually got COVID, so I went and got tested. But nope. I mean, it didn't really affect me that bad, but, because of all the fucking videos and shit that you see on TV, like, this man took the COVID vaccine, and now he's dead. He had a blood clot immediately. Or, this man took the vaccine, and his whole fucking face went paralyzed. Now he's like, I can't talk anymore.
This man took the vaccine, and he had a prolapsed anus.
Yeah, but then you see it the other way around too, and that freaks you out. Like, they keep posting all these fucking videos of people that post like, I'm not taking that vaccine, blah blah blah, and then the next post you see is, please send your prayers, he's in the hospital, and then you see a post from the dude that's like, oh, it's real, guys, get the vaccine, I'm on a ventilator, I'm dying, and then you see like their obituary. So it's like, okay, get the vaccine and get fucked up. Don't get the vaccine and get fucked up.
Yeah.
And then
I had it back in at the beginning is when I got it. It fucked me up pretty bad. But there was no test back then, so I can't prove it. But I've never felt like that in my life. I never slept 13 hours a day for a week and a half. Well, that's not me. Well,
the main thing for me was I didn't want to have people like go taking my posts and going, see, he was questioning the vaccine, now he's dead. Ha ha ha. I didn't want that.
Yeah, I don't really care what other people think.
So that on my side, like, overshot me over the fear of the vaccine or getting COVID to the point where I was like, all right, I might as well get the vaccine.
If that's me. It's all about freedom of choice, man. That's the only thing I've ever cared about.
And I didn't want to lose my job, so.
Yeah, that always gets you. And we'll see what happens here. That's why Daddy's bouncing. That's why Daddy's taking a little siesta.
So you're gonna set up a smuggle operation or something in Mexico?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like it's also for orphans too. It's gonna be like you can put like a little bit of coke in her asshole and send them over the border. It's not sex trafficking, but it's borderline. And yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna start a compound though. I'm like in between. It's a little easier it's like between Jonestown and What's the other one? The Children of God, the one in '97, the one that killed himself after the hail bomb. So
Oh,
Summers
that
in
was
Between,
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate, right? That's what I
Funny
mean.
thing about that, like I actually saw that website before they killed himself. It was like early, well, not early, but earlier
It was
days of
like
the internet.
98.
Yeah, so it was like earlier days of the internet. I remember seeing it online and reading it. I was like, "What the fuck is this crazy shit?" And
Yeah,
that turns
you
out
remember
they,
Waco too, right?
yeah, well, I don't.
You
I
were a
mean,
little young for Waco. You were a little
I
young for
mean,
Waco.
I do, but I don't remember. I just remembered like the major shit that my mom and stepdad would be watching or whatever.
Just remember
Like
making
the
fun of
OJ
David Koresh in
trial and
school.
shit too.
Yeah, I was just in school making fun of David Koresh the whole time. We're just going around going, "Oh Jesus!" That was the seventh grade. I would moonwalk in the hallways right before shop class and just say, "Oh Jesus!" That's what we did. I don't know why. Yeah, so
And
compound,
you were in the
compound.
special ed classes the next day. They put
Yeah,
you in the
yeah.
special ed
Yeah,
class.
yeah. I mean, one in there, and the shop teacher was like, be careful with your fingers and shit." So
Hi, this is Tom.
it's real.
Hi, kids. This is a new student for the special ed class. His name is Tom Franklin. My name's Patrick, but they call me Drooly, cause I drool a lot. I'm glad they don't
Yeah,
call me
we had them
P.
though. We had them.
Hope
Did you
they
have
don't.
those people in your school?
Huh?
Did you have like a class of people in your school like that?
Yeah, we had some kids in the school like that, and
We had this one guy named Toyson. Toyson was his name. And he would, well, I wanted to get him mixed up with another guy, but he would, this one guy, I don't think it was Toyson, but it was somebody similar because they all had, they kind of looked the same. But this guy, he would just go, Brian, his name was Brian, and he would go, it just, he had like the biggest, he had like a Hulk Hogan neck in high school. He had huge, like a king cobra neck for just wiggling his neck all day long, man. And they were at the back, they were on the third, there's like 3 stories of my school, and the school was shaped like an L, and they were on the little part of the L all the way at the end. Third floor.
hey,
Yeah, I guess
here's a question. Do you believe in Jesus? What do you think about the whole
uh
Jesus thing?
Jesus. Oh man, that's Jesus. Let's talk about Jesus. I mean, I don't know, man. I can only be. I'm not very funny about Jesus, but I don't know. I'm not a follower of Jesus. I'm not a follower of any religion
You
per
think it was
se.
like real though?
I think so. Yeah. I
Think it
think
was
he
like
was
a
real. I
real
don't think.
guy, and then
I think he's a real guy. Yeah.
people were like, "Hey,
He was kind of like. He was kind of like Charles Manson without the swastika back in the day. Like he's just kind of sits. He was like a painter, did some drugs. Come on,
yeah."
man, I
He
can walk
asked
on
Paul.
water.
He asked Paul. He's like, Paul, do you think it would look good with a swastika right here? And Paul's
Yeah.
like, Nah, man, lay
He's like,
off
hey,
the
John,
swastika.
you want to go kill a pregnant lady? He was like, hell yeah, I'm all in the family. The
It was
12
like it's a
apostles.
good thing we got that Jesus guy. They were planning on killing some pregnant women.
Yeah.
That's a part of the Bible that would have existed if they got around to it. No, the
Yeah, man.
best story about that you heard about Jesus like whipping the shit out of people, and what was it, like bankers or something? What
Is
was
that
it?
the
Let me
one where
find
he,
it.
I heard,
I
I
got the
heard,
internet.
I heard about the one where he made a lowrider.
No, he
Oh, that was Jesus.
cleansing the temple. Yeah, and making a whip of cords, he drove them out of the temple with the sheep and oxen. He poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. He told who sold the pigeons, "Take these things away. Do not make my father's house a house of trade." Oh, they're using a church. They're using a church to like a bank or something. And it's like the one time Jesus gets super fucking pissed. He's like, "I'm done with this shit." He pulls out a whip. They're like, "No, Jesus, you're supposed to be peaceful." He's like, "I'm through with it." And he came in and he started whipping the shit out of bankers.
They let oxes in the bank. There was oxes and goats or whatever in the bank. That what he's saying? He drove them out of the bank with the goats and the oxen.
Yeah, he drove them out of there with the. I don't know why the goats and the oxes are like you don't have like tellers or cash machines or something. Maybe they were like they had like the money in the cow's
Yeah,
mouth or
like around
something.
their neck or something, and like there was this like Paul Bunyan oxes. I don't know, man. Like Jesus, he's an interesting character. He's like a 2,000-year-old dead Jewish guy, and everyone like loves this dude. Like, how do you love a dead guy? I don't know. I mean, like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I love certain comics like that, but not like that.
Well, they say
So
like
I mean,
they say
he's special.
he's technically came back to life or came back as a
No,
spirit or something.
no, that's not what I was told. That's not what I was told.
Christ has died. Christ has risen. Christ will come again.
Oh, you mean the Easter thing?
Well, like no, like the Easter thing. Well, like the funny thing about that is like people talk about they want the second coming of Christ, like they want
Yeah.
Jesus to come back. And it's like, do you fucking people know what's going to happen when Jesus comes back? Like, it's going to be the judgment day. It's going to be like killing all the bad people and fucking
Yeah, but
good
they think,
people.
but they think one of the good people. That's the funny thing. They think they're one of the good people.
Ah, okay, I get it.
So I'm saying it's self-interest. It's self-aggrandizing.
It's like,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? It's me.
I go to church every day. I mean, yeah, that one time I did finger bang my granddaughter, but I'm sure I'm going to heaven.
You know, I didn't sniff the finger. Like, what's the big deal, right? You fucking yeah, dude.
That's fucked up. So, have you been called a racist lately at all?
Me, lately.
Yeah.
Well, not since I left the comedy scene. No, not lately. No.
No.
I mean, I kind of miss it, but you know.
I could tell you, we could talk about that. One time I was playing a game and we were talking in the chat, and I did that stupid joke where I was like, hey, have you ever had deja vu before? You know, you're jerking off in the bathroom of Taco Bell, and you think to yourself, I've been here before.
Wasn't that what you said to Stanhope?
Yeah, I said that to him too. But like I said that, and then somebody said like yeah, the guy can't get laid or something. He's like, yeah, the closest he can get to getting with the Hispanic woman is jerking off in the Taco Bell. And this other guy's like, what do you mean by that?
That's a bit racist.
What do you mean by that? And he kept saying it, like everybody was ignoring it. I was ignoring him. He's like, I don't get the joke. What did you mean by that? And he just kept doing it over and over. And finally, somebody was like, what do you mean? He's like, me? He's like, no. What do you mean by that joke where you're talking about Hispanic women? And I was like, yeah, it's just nothing. Just some dumb guy or whatever. And then the guy's like, no, my wife's a Mexican, and blah blah blah. Started losing it on me, and then I just I fucking flipped in my head. I'm like, listen here, you fuck. If I was a Chinese restaurant, I said the closest you can get to a fucking Asian woman is jerking off in a Wong In fucking Chinese restaurant, you would have been like, ah ha ha, okay, yeah, fucking laughing about it. But because it has something you think has to do with your fucking wife,
it's easy to be the victim. It's just easy to be a victim. It's easy to be like, oh, I'm so virtuous and I'm going to right the world with so now I'm going to stand up against this patriarchy and this fucking. It's just like, shut the fuck up, drink a beer, smoke a joint, and fucking look at a goddamn star or something, you fucking cunt.
People you just gotta.
Stupid.
No, the real thing that you need to do is just be less white.
I've been trying.
Did you hear about that shit? The Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola Be Less White? Let me find that fucking. What is it? Fact check Coca-Cola can with try to be less white slogan. Oh, that's where they're trying to change it. They try to say that it's fake news because somebody said a Coca-Cola can had written on it, try to be less white. And then they say that that's fake news. But they actually had I'm popping the article into the thing so it can't see you right now. Coca-Cola facing backlash says Be Less White learning plan was about workplace inclusion. So they actually said, it confirmed that the course is part of learning plan to help build an inclusive workspace. And there's a video, and part of the video says... Yeah, if you click on it, I don't want to have to go to fucking... It's probably Candace Owens or some shit.
But the thing is, if you take the same Coke can and you sell it in fucking in Palestine, it'll say "fuck the Jews" on it. You know, it's
like, I I never liked to drink Coca-Cola until I said,
if it was like justifiably okay to like hate black people for some reason, like if Coca-Cola existed in like 1842, they'd be like Negroes, huh? Or something on it. That would be their fucking thing. They don't care. They're just riding the wave to sell to stupid people who fucking. It's a cult. It's they are, and it all turns into like a spiral that keeps getting bigger. So just don't fucking listen to it.
So
Idiots.
it says in the Coca-Cola inclusion training that they actually had their people go through. It says to be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, whatever the fuck that means. Be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, and break with white solidarity. So be less ignorant. Like, are they be less ignorant to what? Like,
To I would say it's to their ideology. It's like you listen and agree to what we say, or we will put you in this sphere of ideology. Like if you're not with us, you're here. So be less ignorant. In other words, stop being a dumb fuck and be like this. That's what that means.
it said be less certain. So as a like as
I mean,
what the fuck is going on upstairs here? Be less certain, as in like what? Don't be as sure about fucking life.
I mean, I think that's not too bad, but I don't understand why it's underneath this moniker of be less white, which is crazy. I think I kind of like the thing be less certain. That's a little bit. I mean, maybe I'm looking at it more in a positive way, like like philosophically, like question everything and be a little more open to different ideas and concepts that you may be used to. I'm okay with that.
Like, like your wife having sex with another man.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually saw that or not.
I brought that up because I had a fucking polyamory ad on a YouTube video that I was watching, where this lady comes out and she's like, people totally misunderstand polyamory. And I have a course that you can take that will help you fix your relationship and shit like that. And it's just it's a sexuality is what they're saying it is. So
what?
Polyamory is a sexuality.
Yeah, I know what polyamory is, and but to call it a sexual, it's not. It's just a fucking choice. It's like, or am I going to eat Mars bars or Snickers? Like, what the fuck? Or I'm going to eat both. That's what it is.
That's what I'd say, right? You're going to eat both.
Yeah.
Mars bars suck, dude. Like, it's a Snickers without fucking nuts, dude.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had such a feeling on it. Yeah. What about Baby Ruth? Too much nuts?
Too many nuts. Too nuts for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. The thing is, man, there's a certain parts of it you have to ignore. Oh, and another thing you can do is you can turn them against one another. That's what you do.
Here's the ad. Secret. I actually got the ad again when I was trying to
Okay.
Something. So I'm going to share it with you and we can watch it together.
The insecurity that your loved one has eyes for someone else, the resentment from feeling trapped with a partner, and the constant arguments that cause each other to emotionally shut down.
I was married to this fucking chick.
My
and
name's
I'd be
Kathy
wanting to
Fuller,
fuck
and I'm
some
a
other
professional
chick.
relationship coach.
Anybody
with
that color hair, run. Like fucking anybody with blue hair, green hair, or red hair this is like it's like a snake. It's like seeing a coral snake. Just fucking run.
But seriously, like it seems to me like her husband convinced her that it's okay to fuck other women, right?
Is it other women, or is it just other men, or men women?
No, I meant like her husband was like,
he's trying to okay.
He's like, I'm stuck with this or whatever. He's like, all right, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna gaslight the shit out of her, and I'm gonna fucking manipulate her to the point where she thinks that it's totally okay to fucking just have sex with other people. And now she's she got so manipulated. Now she's doing advertisements about it.
I was 16 and fell for a couple. I tried monogamy for a few.
She was 16.
Oh, perfect freeze. Perfect freeze.
She was 16 and
fucking
fell for a couple.
Bitch. Fucking lizard bitch. Look at her.
She was 16. She said she was 16 and she
fell for a couple.
For another couple. Okay, yeah. Number one is that it's probably a borderline, like, you know, is that legal? Maybe in the state that she's in, but it
depends
sounds
on the
to
couple's
me,
age, right?
It sounds to me like she was groomed or something by like a fucking swinger couple or something like that.
Right. That's right.
And then she feels like that's what's normal now. So she's like
a few more times, but I eventually realized that being polyamorous was part of who I am.
Blinking with the one
the worst
eye.
thing about
I know,
this
it's blinking at
discovery
odd
is
times.
feeling so alone in my journey.
What
Other people couldn't understand why I felt that way. And when my relationships were full of conflict, jealousy, insecurity, and hopelessness, I had nowhere to turn.
I slit my wrist.
But
yeah, originally would just slit my wrist, but I decided to just start fucking a bunch of other dudes.
Yeah.
Can I help you? Oh, you're just watching? Oh, you can come sit down next to me if you want.
When I got married to my husband, Josh, in 2007, I knew that if we wanted to raise kids, keep the family together, we had to find a way to deal with these feelings. So, like any couple who hits a snag in their relationship, we signed up for couples therapy, read self-help books, even the polyamorous go-tos, and I attended personal development seminars.
So, to me, it seems like it's like mental illness and like some type of issue that normally should have been worked through like in a real therapy session where you talk about like why you feel the need of not, you know, being able to stay with one person, that you have to sleep with multiple people. And then now that they've just thrown polyamorous out there as a sexuality, people are just like, oh yeah, it's just polyamorous. I'm polyamory, you know.
Well, to be completely honest, I have no issue with it. For me personally, it's not for me. But to make it into like this PSA, that's the weird thing about it.
It turns into a fucking sexuality, like
it turns into this. It's more about the ego than it is about the actual.
Well, that's
situation.
What it seems like to me is because like if through introspection, like you get things in your fucking head, right? Like you get these ideas that just randomly pop in your head sometimes, especially when you're like younger. And it seems like instead of them working it through it in their brain, they go, the idea was there, so that must be how I feel. Like they don't take control or they don't try to work through it. So like
is that what a psychopath does? Is that what a psychopath? Seriously, though, isn't that what a psychopath does? He's like, I want to kill that person. So I'm just gonna kill him, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I watched this guy take a shit once before. Like, is that a new thing? Is that like, am I into that? I think I'm into that. I had a boner before I saw it, but I don't know. Like, it seems like they just these like weird little like fucking neurotic things. People just go with it, and they're just like, yeah, let's just fucking.
It's like maybe it's like a mainstream acceptance of mental problems. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the past, you would say, "This bitch is crazy." You know what I mean? And nowadays you're like, "Oh, let me hear your views." And like used to be like, you know, fucking you slam the fucking metal door, let her bounce around.
None of them address the core issues of non-monogamous relationships. Through our journey, we found polyamorous couples just like us, from all different backgrounds facing the same problems. But there was one major difference. Some polyamorous relationships were thriving, full of intimacy, passion, and love, while other polyamorous relationships ended in angry divorce and tortured families.
I wonder why? Because you're fucking a bunch of other people?
And then the kids are growing up in this environment where they feel uncertain. Because this is mommy and this is daddy, and then there's this other dude or chick, and they're coming in when mommy daddy's not there. Then the fucking room smells like fish, and it's confusing.
You just start calling her the fish lady. Yeah. Mommy, daddy brought the fish lady over again.
And they brought that stank bitch over the house.
And they played patty cake in the room because I just heard.
And it was like a
For
patty
like-
cake with an agreement session.
At the end,
A
they
lot of
both went.
agreement.
At the end, they both were so tired they just went ah.
And then like she came out and he drank some orange juice. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, you gotta drink orange juice after you're done, like to tank up.
Who, me? No.
You, like you need your vitamins when you're done.
Yeah, I'm doing a movie thing. I never did that. I just roll over.
Oh, in the movie. Okay, you're saying like, well, when you said it, it seemed kind of natural. So that I think I have seen it multiple times in a movie where like when they're done fucking, they go and
Well,
drink
it's
orange
called
juice.
acting. It's called acting, man.
Like they drink orange juice after they're done fucking.
I don't get that.
Understanding how
That should be
thriving
a great
polyamorous
ad.
relationship works.
Minute Maids.
We identified the 5 pillars that made the difference between a healthy polyamorous relationship
5 dicks.
and a toxic one. These 5 pillars transformed my broken relationship with Josh
All right, I don't need
into
to
a
listen to her
Hi,
anymore.
I'm Jay, and today I'm going to be talking about the 4 major types of polyamory.
Oh,
There's
look at her.
types of polyamory.
4 major types.
Jesus, man.
How are they?
What is this, man?
Like I said,
Shut
they're
up.
over. It's like it's over analyzing a lot of shit. It's like you want to fuck some other people, just fucking say
Just
it.
yeah. It's like when I'm hungry, there's like 4 places I like to eat.
Wait,
There's
wait,
4
wait,
types
wait.
of fast food. There's fucking, shut up. No one cares that you're
This
eating a
is
burger.
this is her fucking intro to YouTube.
Okay.
Writing, polyamory, and life. So her life revolves around writing about polyamory, probably, because she found this little fucking niche thing or whatever. Let's see how many
Yeah.
subscribers. She has 15,000 subscribers. She found this little fucking niche where she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm polyamorous. I don't just like to fuck random guys and get the thrill of having a new dick in me all the time. It's just it's a sexuality. Like, I just have to love more people. Like, I just need to have sexual energy from people all the time."
Well, isn't it
So
true
first
though?
I
Like in the old days, like back in tribal times, like there would be like they were all just fuck everybody, and but it was like a village. So like everyone was like, no one knew whose father was whose father.
I
You know what I'm saying?
guess, but I kind of feel the way that like relationships have evolved, and the way that it is like monogamy, where you make a promise to the other person, and that's the way it is. And if you no matter how hard you try, if with an open relationship like that or whatever, jealousy is going to come into play, because like, oh, you've got that one guy with the limp over here again. You've had him over here. This is the second time this week. It's like you didn't even. I was taking a shower and I opened up the door and I wiggled my dick in front of you. You didn't even like pay attention. But now you got
Well, would you-
fucking
would you
Limpy
need to
Jim
have a
over here.
Well, the reason that he's Limpy Jim is because, like, listen, motherfucker, he limps like that because his dick is so ginormous, and then jealousy just ensues. I mean, it's just part of the game. I mean, come on.
Right. Well, this links together with this whole other new movement where they're talking about how, with polyamory, where a girl will have multiple boyfriends, and the boyfriends aren't allowed to like be upset or jealous. Like, there's actual things where I see people say, "Why are you trying to hold her down? Why are you trying to hold that woman down?" Like they want to break that
So
apart.
I can fuck her.
They want to break that apart, like, from having single relationships, because you're strong together with a couple.
Yes.
When the longer you're together, the more you share with each other, the more you trust each other, the stronger it gets. And you only really realize that probably like you or me and people, if you've been with somebody for so long, you've had a child with them, it gets to that point where you're, you know what I mean? Like you have this strong bond. And I don't see how that can form if you have, multiple people all the time.
Yeah, why don't they just be single? You know what I mean? Just be single. Do what you want. And that's what we did back in the day, right?
Well, that's what
Just
they're
single.
That's what a lot of
Just-
them are doing too. They're just
But why do they categorize it? Just fucking do what you want. It has to be in a category, and it's about me. It's a category. It's
Yeah.
categorizing it, and it's also saying it's okay to raise children. That's where I disagree with. I don't think children should be
A
in
little
any
disclaimer
type of
because
polyamorous
I'm
relationship.
going to make a lot of generalizations in this video. If I didn't, this would probably turn into a documentary, and that's not why any of us are here. So I'm going to keep it brief. There's a lot of nuance in everything I'm going to talk about, and there's a lot of overlap between the 4 different forms. For example, let's say that Olivia and Kana are married. They're primary partners.
Wait, so who the fuck names their kid Kana? I gotta watch a fucking commercial here too. What the fuck is this?
They own a house together. When
We should have
holidays
watched that,
roll
bro.
around, it's just a given that they're going to spend them together, most likely with their families of origin. Olivia and Kana probably link to each other on social media, and it's just a given that of course they would link to each other and not their other.
Look at how she progressively, like, she's already mad at the person like me and you watching this video. Like,
yeah, what's
like she's already got fired. Like, look at her, the way her face changed from here, when she started, like,
yeah. It's a metamorphosis.
like, hi, I'm so happy, and then now she's like, I'm happy. Now I'm getting fucking mad. She's already yelling at you.
Right there.
She's already yelling at you like, look, they're linked together on social media, but that doesn't mean that they're only with each other. And you fucking people that don't understand polyamory, you're just fucking evil people. You don't understand. You don't understand how love can just be shared. You're just evil. Trump supporters.
Their lives are entwined, and they don't have any plans or any intention of ever doing that with anyone else. In this example, Olivia's also dating Rosa, and they really like each other. They might even be on the path to falling in love. Every week they go on a date together. That day is set aside just for them, and they have so much fun. They're happy with where their relationship is, and it's not just that, it's kind of by design. Olivia and Kana are primary partners, so Olivia and Rosa don't do those primary partner things. They don't automatically spend their family holidays together. They wouldn't automatically move together if someone took a job in another location. That doesn't mean they don't care about each other, it's just a different kind of relationship.
Oh, that's so confusing, dude. Just cut it.
Just cut it. Just be done with this shit already.
Why? I mean, dude, what is it? You eat 3 big meals, you take a shit, and you go to bed. What's the mystery? You know what I mean?
It seems like over analyzing. Like, to me, like, okay, you're not really in a couple. You're not really in like a committed relationship then. So a non-committed relation, is that even like a relationship? It's just like, it's like you're the classic sense of dating. You know what I mean?
What did we call it back in the days? Fuck buddy.
Yeah, like, but I don't know.
That's what it's called. We called it fuck buddy. Oh, this is
what
buddy.
this other,
it means you're just
the egalitarian network approach.
The same level of commitment and involvement as, say, like a primary
I'd like to figure out what
partnership,
she
because
has
they
for.
definitely
She's probably
do.
got like
It
a
just
master's
means
in
that no
psychology
one
or some
relationship
fucking
is considered
master's
the
in
main
sociology.
one. The best way I've found to describe
the job
this
she
kind
can do
of
is teaching
polyamory
it.
to people who aren't familiar with it is to compare it to platonic friendship. Most likely, even if you have 1 or 2 really close friendships already, you're able to go out and meet new people and develop really close long-term friendships with those new people as well. The fact that there are pre-existing close friendships doesn't preclude that with
God,
new people.
she just.
So for
that's such an excuse. It's such an excuse.
The way that they talk too, like
It's like
I know all the answers. I know all the answers.
Yeah,
I'm giving you all the answers. I'm explaining it to you so that next time your niece comes over and she says she's polyamorous, you don't just go, oh, you mean you just got a bunch of fuck buddies? No, it's sexuality, okay? It's a real thing. And every fucking day on the internet, you have to check for updates because there's changes all the time. Because one person doesn't fit in this one fucking little category and says, well, I'm egalitarian network approach, but sometimes I'm primary partner and others approach. So there's gotta be like a mix in there, and I gotta get my own fucking name, and you gotta make me a new symbol, and you gotta fucking make me a colored flag, and it's like, fucked, dude. This one's the one that is funny too.
You had all these like ready for me to go, huh?
No, this popped up. Like, this was I didn't go that far. This one's the funniest one.
I didn't go that far.
Riley.
Hey, Riley.
Hey, Riley.
Hey, Riley.
Hey, Riley.
Hi.
I buried your head in the closet.
There's someone
Riley.
here who wants to meet you.
It's a teddy bear. It's a robot.
My name is Moxie. I'm a new robot.
Oh my god.
What is
Oh,
By the way.
that's scary. That's fucking scary, bro.
By the way, Grandma's dead.
Yeah.
your name?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was. Tips. So, sapiosexuality.
Sapiosexuality. The sexuality for nerd
Look at this
lovers
fucking
or
guy.
something more. How do you know if you're a sapiosexual? Maybe you're curious to know. Or maybe you're saying out loud, again with the labels?
Again
You're
with the
not.
labels?
It'll all make sense in a few minutes.
Oh, okay. It'll make sense finally, Tom. Because when
Okay.
I first fucking heard about this, I just thought, why the fuck would you label that? Why would you put yourself in a category with lesbians, gay people, bisexual, transsexual? Why would you feel like you belong in that group of people because of this? But this guy's gonna explain it all to us right now.
Or at
With the
least
tinfoil
more
hat
sense
on.
than high school geometry. I hated that
Ooh.
class. What does it mean to be a sapiosexual? Well, it doesn't mean an attraction to nerds.
Oh.
And sorry to disappoint, guys, but it's not an attraction to the sexy librarian some of you fantasize about. The definition of
Throwing a joke in there
sapiosexual
for
is
us.
one who is sexually attracted to a person's intelligence, whether that person looks like a nerd, or Natalie Portman, who has a
Oh.
140 IQ and graduated from Harvard University.
I'm
What?
only
People are
sexually attracted to people who are intelligent.
Only,
what it is.
I only want to fuck Ivy League people.
Yes, you're only attracted to intelligent people. Which
That's weird.
what do
I mean,
you
but
like?
are you attracted to dumb people? Are you attracted to people who fucking drool sausage out of their lips while they beat your mom? No,
Yeah.
you fucking.
You have your own sexuality for it.
You
Like-
like people who are attractive and smart and,
But-
and can
but you
keep a
can't-
conversation.
So when you say you're so like I say I'm sapiosexual, right?
I would
What
say
you're
you are,
saying
yes.
is like, so if I'm sapiosexual and I go to a bar, and I go to a table, there's two women there, they're hanging out, and I start talking to them. The one on the left, beautiful, all the things I like, nice pair of tits, nice pair of ass, a little weird looking in the
a
face.
Nice pair of ass.
Maybe
yes.
a little weird looking in the face that makes me feel like I have a chance with her. And then you got right next to her, you got like this chick with the glasses on, and she's got a Nietzsche book that she's reading at a bar for some reason. Are you telling me that a sapiosexual person, given the chance to sleep with a very attractive, person who can speak well, who's put together well, got a good job, he'd be more attracted to the nerd with the book and like the no personality and the fucking pimples and the fucking
Well,
butter,
Possibly. It's
melted
possible,
butter
but
on her fucking like. So you're telling me there's people that are like that? I don't believe it.
What if you're like what if it's like you're attracted to the opposite or the same sex? Would it be a homo sapiens sexual? Like
I'm only attracted to smart humans.
no homo sapiens
Homo
sexual or whatever.
sapiosexual.
Yeah, like it's like a gay sapien sexual.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm only attracted to gay, intelligent men.
Jail. I'm attracted to other. Yeah, whatever. This is
Attracted to
the R-
intelligence
the R word.
typically find situations
You're only attracted to that one fucking dude on what is it called? What is that fucking show everybody watches? The whole universe is in the hot dance.
Oh yeah, fucking Sheldon or whatever. Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, they're only attracted to Sheldon Cooper because he's gay intelligent.
Like intellectual debates and discussion about one's passions in life very arousing. A similar term, sapiophile, has been used in the past to also see if you think the following statements apply to you.
Oh.
Okay, here we
I
go.
find people attractive as I get to know them. I think great conversation is better than casual sex. I'm most turned on by what people know rather than what they have. I can't stand bad grammar.
Oh.
I'm turned on by knowledge in any form.
Also, you're
Brains
German.
are the new boobs. Just how big is your library?
Brains are the new boobs. What the fuck?
How big is your
Just how big is your library? Oh god. How many books did you say you got? 50? I got a fucking hard on right now. I could fucking kill a child with right now.
How many Nancy Drew mysteries do you have?
You said you've got how many Nietzsche books?
Jesus Christ. How
You
big
said
is your library?
you've read Stephen Hawking's The Universe in a Nutshell how many times? Oh my god.
does
I got
the
a little
Nuremberg-
pre-cum. I got a little pre-cum seeping through my pants.
If you have a hard on and you watch the Nuremberg book burnings, do you fucking just goes wah 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 like what the fuck?
This one's fucking
What is this?
stupid
what is this?
too.
You have a weird
I got in an argument with somebody about this because I said, "You mean you're normal?" And they just got super upset. They're like, "You don't understand. My whole entire life, I knew I was different than other people, and then they did it."
Oh,
This is Mark.
It's about.
He's an engineer.
I knew I
really
was
good
different than
one,
other
but you
people
see-
because all the people around you are whores. All the girls that you know in school are whores because they've been fucking brainwashed into thinking, oh, it's normal to just fuck 20 dudes when you're 15 years old. It's good, you know, because of the way the media and everything portrays it. It's empowering.
Crazy.
And then there's a girl that goes like, oh, I don't know. I don't really feel like, just, fucking some random guy I don't know, And
I hate the fucking representation of the Earth there too. It makes Italy look like a fucking nipple or something hanging down there.
It looks like an udder.
Yeah.
We live in a world where sex is a hot topic of discussion. It's glorified in advertisements, TV shows,
It's only happened now, right?
movies, and plays.
I hate people that say advertisements.
Sex drives a
Me too.
lot of people. But what if it doesn't drive you? What if
Is
it's
that
not
like a
the number one
sexuality?
thing on your mind?
I don't have sex with people that say advertisements.
I also hate people who say mature instead of mature. It's mature. It's mature. Like what? It's not like you're Irish. Oh, welcome to mature or whatever. It's just yeah.
All right,
Sorry,
let's see
you
if
got
this
me on a
bitch comes to
pet
the
peeve.
point.
All the time. Does that make you weird? No. If you're someone who experiences sexual attraction only when you have a deep emotional connection with someone, then you may identify as demisexual. You might
So you're
be
normal.
asking, wait, is demisexuality a sexual orientation?
Wait a minute. I just thought I was completely fucking normal, like every other person. Where you first get to know somebody, have a relationship with them, get to know them, before you fucking lick their asshole out with some fucking jelly.
Yeah,
But
this is like
apparently-
it's like the opposite of being a necrophiliac, where you don't have to get to know them at all. It's
Well,
like-
come on. I mean, when I worked at the funeral home, I knew a little bit about them. I read their obituary first, so
Oh, okay, I got you. Hey, you know what? I'm not here to hate.
I don't work there anymore, so I can't get fired for that shit. But anyway, and just to clarify, I never did anything weird with the bodies, but I can tell you right now, I'd say about 98% of the people I worked with, totally normal people, but there was that 2% you met and you're like, they're fucking the bodies.
For real?
They are. They're fucking the bodies. Like,
You really for real?
why
For
did you
real?
get that guy a key? Because he's probably coming here at night fucking bodies. But anyway, let's figure out why we're
subset and
demisexual.
add-on to an individual's identity rather than being an individual's sexual orientation. Sexual orientation, as people see it, is which gender you are sexually attracted to or not. Demisexuality is a way of experiencing sexual attraction.
But there is no genders. There is no genders anymore, though.
About a relationship rather than who you would want to be in a relationship with.
That's what they say.
A demisexual can also identify as gay, straight,
or
bisexual, and may not
I
have
get it. I get it. Like, it's like a modifier. Like you got your AR-15 is your sexuality, but if you got a scope on it, it means like you're demisexual. So this isn't the type of weapon you are. This is the attachments that you have.
The mount. Yeah.
The mount. relating gender and sexuality to guns. I should do video for the NRA, man. You're like, this. I'm teaching people from the NRA how to understand gender and sexuality. You see. Demisexuality is like that fucking infrared scope that you put on top of your M16. And your M16 might be an AK-47, and it might be an MP5. The MP5, of course, signaling bisexuality. AR-15 is straight sex, and the AK-47 is gay. I was going to change it from AK because I don't want Russian people to kill me and stone me to death because you can't be gay in Russia. But I just left it.
Excuse me, sir. I want to know what does it mean if I have a bump stock on my AR-15?
If you got a bump stock on yours, that means that you're also sapiosexual and demisexual. So when you have like at your work, when you sign off on your email, your signature, it has your name, and then it says sapio, demisexual, homosexual.
So are you trying to tell me, Mr. Heston, that you want to fuck me or what? I mean,
I'm waiting for them to get merit badges, and then you just put them on there like you were in the military. Like this one stands for I like blowing dicks, and this one stands for the guy that has the dick's got to be smart, and this one right here stands for I gotta at least know who his mom and dad are first before we have sex. So you put them all together, that's me. Like, why can't you just be gay? Why can't you just be like, I'm gay, dude? Like,
what's the problem?
Like, it was good. It was. Why can't you just be a person? Yeah, like you just be a fucking person. Yeah, well, everyone
does that too. Everyone does that. Like, you're a Ford man, you're a Chevy man. Yeah, because Chevy's the heartbeat of America. Yeah, but we're Ford tough, and it's the same fucking shit.
Well, yeah, they want to group themselves into something. So there's people out there that like weren't fucking all the time, and they were probably like they probably were. That chick that talked to me, she probably did have problems in school. They're like, why don't you want to blow all these guys like me? He's like, I don't know. I kind of want to know his name first before I put his unwashed cock in my mouth. And she's like, that's weird. Like, what do you mean that's fucking weird? And then she felt bad. So, like, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's like that it flips. But they're saying here that it's just an add-on. And the way the chick was talking to me, she was telling me that it was like her actual sexuality. And she belongs in the LGBTQ plus community. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me at all. And it just, they immediately explode on you. Like if somebody called me gay, I would just be like, I'm not gay.
Which is not like a random, it's not like a thing that never happens, right?
I'm sure people call me gay all the time. That's fine. But it's like, who cares? Like, if I was gay, and somebody was like, you're gay, I'm like, yeah, I suck dicks. Like, who cares? But, like, it's like, turned into this huge thing where it's like...
Since when is, like, blowing a load become, like, the moniker of your existence? Like,
I don't know.
Since when is that...
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sex is so important.
But it's not. It is, but it's not. I guess we're old, man.
Maybe it's more important for women because it's such a huge process for them, you know, to get themselves in the mindset and stuff like that. Maybe they're just overthinking things even more to where they're like they're checking off the boxes in their head. They're like IQ over 140, check. I went out to dinner with them 3 times, check. You know, like I don't fucking know. Like it seems like it's just some of these simple little things that people just get attached to, and they just like Germans. You know, like Germans are they're like they have one hobby and it's always like some really obscure thing and they get super involved in it like Deutsche Schäferhund Zuchtverein.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a group about breeding German shepherds and that's all they do. Like they live the rest of they're like and they live their week.
The little stickers on their cars about it. Yeah,
they live their whole fucking life in their week so that they can go to their German Shepherd breeding group and then just sit there and talk about German Shepherds fucking.
And watch their dogs fuck.
Watch their dogs fuck.
While they're drinking some awesome
beer. Oh man, that was a big one. I'm sure there's gonna be at least 4 or 5 puppies in this one. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh my God. What do we? Oh, Tuesday. She's gonna ovulate. Like it's like what the fuck?
You're texting. You're in the forum. Because there's a forum and a website and a fucking banner and an emblem and a flag and you got like a little emblem and you're writing in the forum, she's ovulating on Tuesday. You have to bring the dogs over here on Tuesday. We were going to watch the dogs be making the puppies.
They have like a fucking calendar behind them where like they mark down their dog's period and then like it's so funny. They got a thing where they have they call it like if there's breeders in Germany, they have a thing called a Deckruder. And a Deckruder is like a dog that, like a male dog that goes around and fucks everyone else's dogs. And they rent their dog out. Yeah, but it's like the dog. Yeah.
So it's like dog prostitution party.
Yeah, they have that here.
God. It's so fucked, dude.
Preference when it comes to
Let's hear
sexual
what
attraction. Many
this
argue that
mentally ill
demisexuality
person
isn't real
says.
or valid. That it's a made-up label for some to seek attention or feel like special snowflakes.
Oh, it's a made-up label where people losing attention, but you
don't
don't
understand. They take the
Labels may not
snowflake
be
thing and flip
absolute
it.
or necessary, but the term demisexual is a descriptive word for a certain pattern of attraction that gives demis more understanding of themselves, affirmation, and help them find a community with people who can relate.
The best part about it is you can always change.
It's bringing people together.
Yeah, so like if you one day have a one night stand where you don't know the person and you got attracted to them and you fucked them anyway, then you could just be like, well, you know, I'm only demisexual most of the time. Yeah. So like, then why would you even call yourself demisexual? Like, why would you?
And then they'll have a support group for that. You know what I'm saying? Then that would be their whole thing.
Demisexuals who have fucking gone rogue.
Yeah.
You're getting kicked out of the demisexual fucking support group for what you did last night. Oh, the funny thing, this chick too, she would tell stories about stuff and they would just talk, because when we're playing games, people just talk about random shit.
Yeah.
She said that she had sex with like at least 20 guys or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In like the last couple of years. So I'm like, you're telling me you had a deep connection to 20 different dudes in the last year, 2 years? And like, I don't understand. Like, if you're a sapiosexual, what it seems to me is like you have to have a deep connection. You're able to form a deep connection with 20 people. It doesn't make sense to me. No, it's like, I'm not sapiosexual. And when back in the day when I wasn't married, like I had, you know, in a year, probably the most, maybe 4, you know, different relationships. And that was a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a lot. So that's what I don't understand. Like I think it's just because they keep moving stuff around and keep changing what they say is supposed to be normal. And then people have to adjust themselves like, whoa, it's normal to fuck.
And if you don't keep up, then you are a boomer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the word. You're a boomer. You're a Trump tart or whatever it is. And
This
it's like I can't keep up, and I don't care to keep up.
Well, like this one chick I worked with. I'm not gonna say where and what her name is. She did a Centenial. Let's look that up. 1 second. A Centenial. Let me see if they have it actually written somewhere. Challenge to fuck 100 people in 1 year.
Oh, that's what they call it. Oh my god.
It's
oh my god.
Can't find it. She said she.
No, I think I get what you mean though.
She was calling it a Centennial. She was probably telling people that she had done it, that she had had sex with 100 different people in 1 year.
Jesus. So what's a bicentennial?
So is that a 200?
No, it's a 200-year-old fucking woman.
407 men ago.
I fucked Abraham Lincoln.
Lincoln seems like he'd be like a bony fuck.
Yeah.
He'd be all
probably
he'd be all like jittery. Slurs. He'd probably be all like jittery and all fucking stressed out, and he'd just be like, his ass would be just so clenched, like even with lube, you're like you can't even get it in there, and he's like, I'm trying to relax, I'm sorry. It's like, fucking put the hat back on. The hat's what gets me hard, Lincoln.
This fucking Robert E. Lee, I just can't get it up.
Quit pulling on my beard when you make me lick your testicles. Like,
he just can't. He's constantly got the Civil War in his head.
Yeah, Olivia Davis, a demisexual, wrote, "Demisexuality is about desire and arousal, not just sex and who you do it with. It's not merely that I'm only interested in having sex with people that I love, it's also that I feel a complete absence of desire or sexual feelings towards everyone else. Ever."
So you're just fucking monogamous? Like you find somebody that you like and you want to have sex with, and then everybody else you're not really sexually attracted to because you're fucking normal?
I think that's bullshit too. I think that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
If you see, dude, stop it.
There's no way that you don't have any sexual feelings towards anyone else
until
you fucking get to know them, and then you're like, there's no fucking way. And maybe I'll take a step back with that and say, for a woman maybe she can pretend that, but for a dude, no fucking way. There's no way that there's a dude out there that really thinks that he's demisexual. Like, he doesn't fucking meet somebody at like a coffee house or something like that, and he just orders and he has like a nice conversation with them, and then she's flirting, he's kind of flirting back, and he doesn't sit down and go, man, I'd like to fucking stick it in her right behind the counter. There's no way.
No.
Man, I would love to just pull on her hair while she's screaming. And I don't know, whatever things. You fill in the blanks.
You fill in the blank, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking
absolutely
way.
Not. Absolutely not. It's fucking annoys the shit out of me, man.
Well, because it's so fucked. It's so fucked in the head. So, what else? So you got most of your stuff sold right now, and you're gonna be on your way soon, or what?
I got a ton of shit to do, but like I said, we can leave it any day. We got to recontact with the consulate. There's a lot of stuff in the air at the moment. Right now, I'm just preparing mentally and emotionally, physically, monetarily, all that kind of thing. And so everything's getting weird. Sold my weight bench, so it wasn't like I was doing anything with it anyway. So
here's something. I posted online and about how a lot of these conspiracy theories, they're actually coming true. And somebody tried to tell me, like, what do you mean? What conspiracy theories? I'm like,
I helped you.
How many have you fucking? The biggest one for me is the chemtrails thing.
That's true. Oh yeah, we know that. We mean weather modification for sure.
Right? The biggest thing for that, because for the longest time, Like there was videos of people, like I saw videos. It had to been like in 2009, so we're talking at this point what, 12 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I saw videos of people. They're like, they're not just fucking crazy people. They weren't like trying to pump it up and like make it look all, you know, whatever. They're just like normal fucking dude, and he's like, yeah, we took water samples from these locations, we sent them in, and we had them tested, and we had 2,000% more aluminum in the soil, and shit like that. And he's like,
yeah, I heard that one.
And if you look over where we live, you know, normally every day it was pretty much just open sky, and now it's always like murky, cloudy, and, you know, hazy. And, you know, you watch a video like that and you're like, oh man, that might be, you know, it might be true. And what happens is then they throw it at you with the contrails. They're like, well, yeah, when a plane flies in the air and he's in that one spot, you know, the vapor and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it looks totally different than what they're talking about, though. So anyway, you sit on that for a while, and then probably about 4 years ago, I saw where they started to like slowly like feed it into the media, like geoengineering and weather modification. But recently, they had articles about in it's not Saudi Arabia, is it? I think it's Saudi Arab immigrants or
UAE.
Yeah.
UAE.
Yeah, they were talking about how they're cloud seeding. They're sending drones. United Arab Emirates. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a fucking I'm a little bit more than the average American, but I'm still fucked in the head with where things are. And anyway, so United Arab Emirates, they are flying drones into clouds, and they're sending out shock waves of electricity that are making the clouds form together, form droplets, and making rain. They are literally making rain. So that's the first thing.
There's HARP.
The second, well, we can get to HARP in a minute, but the second thing, that this is like what they actually had in an article, is that they're flying planes that are shooting these aerosols into the air. Mostly, they said mostly salt, but then they also said other metals like aluminum and barium and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that causes the raindrops to form too. But it also forms a barrier, like almost like another ozone layer type thing. And that's what they want to do eventually, to start blocking some of the sunlight that is coming onto the earth. And,
right, to lower the temperature, apparently.
And I send, you know, you put that out there and you say, conspiracy was never a conspiracy, because this is something that they're actually or showing that is actually true. And people are like, no, that's completely different. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean it's completely different?
Yeah, for me, it was Operation Northwoods, where like it's proven that the United States government was trying to arm like Cuban friendlies and fly like fucking airplanes and crash them and blow them up, and then say it was Cuba so that we can go to war with them. And it got signed by the Joint Chiefs of Staff and got vetoed by John F. Kennedy.
Fucking John F. Kennedy's like,
John F. Kennedy,
are you motherfuckers crazy or something?
Are you?
I'm
not crazy. I am not going to.
I can't do GFP.
I think it's more. It sounds like more Dave Attell.
But like, you tell people that stuff, and they're like, "What do you mean?" Well, in some aspects you could say, like, as a conspiracy theorist, if you want to create a conspiracy, you could just kind of look into a direction of where something might be going, and then shoot it out there and just make a guess, kind of. And that eventually it might come true. But these fucking people, from the video that I watched, they were taking ground samples, water samples, and they were proving that there was fucking way too high minerals than what they used to.
I think this was in Oregon or something like that, if I remember right. It was something in Oregon.
So somewhere randomly.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that isn't true. And then,
but what's the one that got? What do you think is the one where people are like, "Oh fuck," like where it really hit home? Which one do you think it was? I think for me, I know which one it is. What do you think? because I know which one it was. Where everyone was like, "Wait a
well,
minute."
of course, I think the one that shot everything, made everything go crazy was 9/11, definitely.
Well, that was the beginning of it, but I think the one where because people would still be in denial about that a little bit, but the one that really shook me to the core, or not just me, I kind of knew, but like other people, I think most people were like, "Whoa, wait a fucking minute," was Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. That was the one where everyone was like, because people were like, he's going to die. And then he fucking
Well, they
dies.
made a mistake. They made a mistake. They made a mistake by linking Trump together with Epstein. Because if Trump wasn't linked to Epstein, and Epstein, suicided himself, suicided. That's what it is. He was suicided, which is funny. That's an actual term. Like I looked in the internet. It's a term now.
It's a term
that somebody is getting suicided. They linked Trump together with that, and that ended up getting the left side that would have normally been the more logical, we're saying, where they would have said, "Oh, he didn't kill himself," or "Oh, he didn't get murdered. Of course he killed himself." Blah 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 blah. You people are conspiracy theorists. The fact that they linked Trump together, and then he died, then people started going, "What if Trump had him? What if Trump killed this guy so he didn't?" And then they got on board. So we think we talked about this before, but we're not in here. I had a lady that I work with. Just a really like old school, I think she's probably like 60 about right now. Old school black lady that I work with. She brought the topic up to me about Epstein killing himself. She's like, "There ain't no fucking way he killed himself." I'm like,
"Yep."
I'm like, "Damn, I didn't know we were gonna go into one of these today at work. I thought we were just gonna stick with how was your weekend? We went camping."
And the new one is the one that just came out 2 days ago. Is that I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if I'm making false news, but like the whole Russian Gate thing, and where like actually they've proven now. So I don't know. I read a couple articles, but that it actually was started by the DNC, and to make it look that way, and then like so this the Dukes anyway, but to like they actually conspired to, you know what I'm saying? And remember, they would say like that was 3 years of like it's an illegitimate election, and then now you can't say it about the one that just happened. Well, whatever.
Right. Yeah, you can't say that anything happened with Biden because
you can't say that because you'll get.
Well, that's why we have because we have a Democratic majority in the House and in the Senate, that we can't get anything done is because of the filibuster. And they keep that in place because they could just say no more filibuster. They keep it in place because they're afraid that when a Republican comes in, they're gonna go nuts. They're gonna fucking do a bunch of crazy shit. So they try not to fuck themselves in the future. They try to do that, but sometimes they do. And they fucked themselves really hard. For instance, with all the shit that's going on with immigration. The
filibuster is when they just get up and start talking a lot, right?
Yeah, well, what it is that they talk, and they have to talk. I forget exactly how long they have to talk. I could probably look it up right now. They talk a specific length, and then that basically tables the motion that they were trying to do. Filibuster definition. So it's an action such as a prolonged speech that obstructs progress in legislative assembly while not technically contravening the required procedures. Okay. So yeah, basically it's a speech where they have to speak for a certain period of time. They're not allowed to stop, whatever, I don't know. And it'll block it. So like if something comes to the table that the Republicans really want to block, they have the option to do a filibuster, and it'll basically stop it. So that's why they have to try to be partisan on things.
I'll chat later, cunt. This is my actual fucking blood brother, where you slit the finger, and you yeah, dude. When we were 8 years old,
I had an experience where me and this one guy, we went to a Turkish bar in Germany, and we were fucking hammered, and it was just like two Turkish older dudes in the bar, and they were fucking hammered too. Somehow, like my friend, without being able to speak German, was talking with this Turkish dude, and the Turkish dude pulls out a fucking knife and slices his fucking hand like this, like good. And he's bleeding, and he wanted to become blood brothers with my one friend. My one friend's like, what the hell's going on here?
Whoa.
What the hell's going on here? That's all he said. What the hell's going on here?
What the heck is giant, by golly, what is going on here
in
this establishment?
It got really creepy, like we were going to get raped or something.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
You're saying
you're not. No, I'm not.
You're saying that at 20, what was it, 20 years old, I had a nice body and stuff like that. You don't think some old Turkish dude would want to rape me?
No, I mean, now you have two of them, so you can get raped twice, right?
Yeah.
This is like a dog turd just came out of your mouth. Little scat, you're a scat muncher.
There's actually a medical condition where you shit out of your mouth, by the way.
No way.
Yeah.
I remember you were really interested in the where people get that where they get the hole between their pussy and their ass.
Oh, what is it called? A rectovaginal fistula.
Yeah, fistula. Yeah.
Yeah. This you know the fucked up thing about that is, like, you know it would talk about it, like just fuck around and talk about it, but like bring it up randomly in conversations, like just talking to some random like 22-year-old like I don't know, from fucking Finland or something, and she's going to school in Frankfurt, and she's like, yeah, we're having a good conversation, and you're like talking, and then you just randomly bring up like, you ever hear of a rectovaginal fistula before? It's like, no, what's that?
It's nature's shortcut.
When you got those, you got those two paths. Like one is the hoo and one's the ho. Well, there's a hole that forms between them.
You decide which one's which.
And you start pooping out of your vagina.
I actually know two people who've had that.
That's what I was gonna bring up. So you know the type of person I've never brought it up in front of this one woman. She's a mother of a friend. I'll just say that. And I don't really talk to this lady. I've rarely ever seen her. We were at a fucking party. I think it was a Halloween party. And for whatever reason, the mother came up to me and told me that she had a rectovaginal fistula before. And I was just like, I didn't know, like, I didn't want to be, I would have stared laughing, but I held it back because I'm like
in the middle of Monster Mash?
Yeah, it was just so fucked up. It was like, yeah, I had a rectovaginal fistula before. Oh, it was because I was talking about how I had diverticulitis.
Oh.
And then she was trying to relate to me with her shitty vagina.
It's sweet though.
She's like, I didn't even know I had it either. I was just laying in bed and Jared was going down on me, and all of a sudden he's like, "You're pooping! You're pooping in my mouth! Quit pooping in my mouth!" It's like, you sucking on the wrong hole, dumbass. No, it's coming out of your vagina. It's coming right out your vagina into my mouth. Your poop is pushing my cum out of your vagina right into my mouth. I got a big old wad of poopy cum in my mouth.
Oh my god.
And that's how it happened. That's not what she said to me, though.
Yeah, but
obviously she wasn't like... But she was weird. She like got close to me because she must have known it was something you probably shouldn't let everybody know about. But she also probably didn't think I knew what that was directly.
Yeah.
And she was just trying that she would say it. I'd be like, oh, it's related to diverticulitis in some way. Okay, cool. You know how I feel. But she leaned in. So she leaned in like closer to me and was like, I had a rectovaginal. Some fucking lady leaning in. I had a... Like you're at a bar and you had a conversation with a lady for a while, and she's got a drink. She's like shakes it a little bit, and she leans in. She goes, goes, you know, I've got a rectovaginal fistula waiting for you upstairs. Room number 546. I'll start laying down some of those baby changing mats. And I'll be waiting. And she like jiggles her glass with the fucking ice in it. She's like, you into eating pussy and eating ass? Well, how about at the same time?
At the same time. It's like a buffet, man. Jesus Christ.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah, I knew a dude, right? He had to get an operation, and he told me if the operation didn't go well, that he wouldn't be able to shit right no more. Because they had an operation and then they fucked it up, and then he was selling me weed.
So you had to listen to what he was saying.
Yeah, I had
like you were forced to. You're like
walking around his apartment to go to his weed sack, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" Oh, I have a fistula. And I was like, "What?" He had like his was different. He had like a second asshole. It made like a wide turn and just went into the shitty part of town.
So they created a new asshole for him to
No, his body created a new asshole. Oh. And they had to, it was like redirecting a river, like they had to put down, when they built, like they made the Hoover, and they fucking poured tons of concrete to his asshole.
They had to dam the other hole up, and then...
Yeah, it was fucked up, man. He had to take like a turkey baster with like this like cleaning solution and spray it in the little hole next to his asshole.
But that's the types of people that do that shit. I feel like selling stuff. I think that's the mentality a lot of those people have, because that's like the way that they socialize, and they capitalize on that power that they have of this is the thing that you want. Yeah. This is the thing you want. Instead of just fucking giving it to, because they know if they give it to you, you're gonna be like, all right, cool, man. You know, I gotta go home. I gotta wash my car. I gotta fucking smash a couple babies, or like. They have it in their hand. They're like, they know that, so then they hold on to it first. They're like, hey man, how you been doing, man? It's like, yeah, I just need to get high. Oh yeah, cool, man. Good thing you came here to get some weed.
He was just
like, he holds on to it, like, dude. So you're fucking stuck. You're like held hostage in this conversation that you never wanted to have, because you're like, you want to get high, and that's why I don't do drugs anymore. It's not true. It's not true, actually. I did mushrooms a couple weeks ago, actually.
No shit.
Yeah. We found a friend of a friend. They sell them in then like these capsules. So like they're like these little capsules with shrooms in them, and then you just take them like pills and whatever. Yeah. And I didn't really get fucked up because I didn't really take many of them, but I had a moment where after I took them, we were like by a beach, and then we had to like walk up this hill through some wooded area back to this cabin. And as I was walking up there, without like really paying attention, I was like looking at the trees and like looking at everything around me, and I had this moment of peace. Like you ever you get that feeling where you're like, I'm part of the universe and shit like that. And then I realized it was happening, and then I ruined it because I was like, I was like, oh man, I'm just high. I'm not. It's like life isn't good, and the universe isn't one with me. I'm just high. It's like, I'm not part of the real universe. This isn't real right now. I'm just high.
Yeah, you gotta
instead of just being able to live like that the rest of my fucking life, where I'm like,
I've done that.
I'm like, oh man, I'm
4th of July this year. We went into the woods, me and my wife, and we took a picnic, and we smoked like some really crazy strong weed, and it started raining, and we just took our shoes off and just like put them in a book bag, and we're like eating sandwiches, just walking through the woods like on these sticks and shit, barefoot, like for 2 miles, and just fucking loved it, man. Like I know what you mean, like complete and utter peace. You can hear the deer and you can hear every raindrop, and it's yeah.
That's eventually, like, I think what a lot of people are going to start really trying to get back to, and I already see it with a lot of people I know too. I mean, look at you right there. I mean, it's partly what you're doing right now too.
Absolutely.
And that's what I like have in my head as a goal now. Is as soon as the kids are out of school, and I get a little bit more financially stable. It's like I want to get a piece of land and I want to live, in away from this shit because it's toxic and
it's awful.
And cities and everything like that, I think that is what really fucked everything up was cities.
I think
metropolises.
There needs to be a new war or a new genocide, and that would fix a lot of this.
Just nuke every fucking major city in the United States.
These fucking sapiosexuals. No one gives a fuck about that when you're having some gulag launch a fucking missile at your head. It's just these people are bored. Go fucking split some firewood.
Well, that's
go birth a fucking cow or something.
I really think it's the major cities, and it just makes people mentally ill.
Yes,
and then
too many people
in order
one spot.
Either they need to accept that you're mentally ill, or you need to live with the mental illness and say that it's not mental. I'm normal. It's not mental illness. I'm normal. And I think that's why, but I feel like it's just going to naturally start happening because there's no more need to be crammed in a fucking city anymore.
No.
The need's not there. And people they're not really going there. I feel like more and more people are, they go to a city. You go to a city and then you're like, why the fuck am I here? Because that's how it felt. We went to New York and the only thing that I feel I really got out of it was to say that I went to New York. Like the feeling I had in there, I'm like, this is crowded. It's fucking smelly. There's fucking weird people all over the place. I looked at a big building.
You went there like right during the middle of like the real thick shit though.
Pandemic,
yeah. Like real bad part of it.
It was, and I was sick of it then when there was only like 20% of the people that would normally be there. So imagine like how I would have felt. You imagine how I would have felt when it was 100% of people, where it's just like
you couldn't go.
Nut to butt. No, I would have driven in there. I would have driven into the city. I actually drove into the city, which is another fucking funny story. I drove into the city, and as soon as I got through the Lincoln Tunnel, I was following this car, and there was a bus, and I had to make a right turn. And they made the right turn, so I thought that was my turn. I followed them, and then all of a sudden, at the last second, the car went left. Because the right turn separated into two things. And me, I was like, I don't know if the left's going to take me where. I don't know. I followed the bus. And I followed it into the actual bus terminal. So, for people that haven't been in a big city, to know that a bus terminal is not like here where we have like a little overhang and there's a couple buses there. It's a building that's made only for buses to drive in there. So there's only buses. Buses are allowed to drive there. They got security because they're all worried about, the next terrorist attack's going to be a bus or I don't know. So I'm following this bus in there and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to get out of here. Like all the symbols on the things on the roads and on they're all only bus people symbols. It went from like everybody type of signs to only bus driver signs. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get out of here? And it must happen more often than usual because the people that were there, they just kind of like, come on, you fucking moron, go over this way. Yeah, drive that way. You fucking moron, drive that way. They like signaled me to get out of there, and I was just freaking out. I'm like, I'm going to get arrested. We're going to be sitting in like some Homeland Security fucking building.
I think there's a whole new back to the land movement. People see, like first of all, you have the internet. I mean, you have things like Nomad and Starlink. And all these other companies where you don't even have to be on the grid, man. Like that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be completely off the grid. I don't want to be. I don't want no electricity. I'm going to pump my own water, collect my own rain, feed my own food, try to grow everything I can, much as I can, and get better through the years. And like just when I get old, and like I set myself financially good,
Yeah.
To be able to do that, I don't even have to really work. All I got to do is just manage my house here that I own. And I'm fucking done, bro.
Well, the funny thing about that is
fishing, hunting, crabbing, windsurfing, the things I like to do too. And that's all going to be like, it's just a different way of doing things. So it's going to be really interesting. But because down there's a lot of people who are already doing that, and I'm already connecting to these communities down there.
Yeah.
I hate that word, by the way, but it's community, you know, and these people are like, yeah, it's safe here where I live. There's this, there's that, you know, it feels like America, but everyone speaks Spanish. And I'm like, okay, shit, I'm down with that. So, and it's not a big town I'm going to, but I can really go off. And land down there is a good price, dude. I mean, really cheap. I'm gonna blow your mind when I tell when you see what I'm planning on getting. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? I see, no joke, literally. I don't know if this is true or not, because, you know, like, there's a lot of tricksters online, you know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to Mexicans and shit on like Facebook, fucking whatever, buying stuff. And it was they were offering 50 hectares, which is 2.5 acres, for like 28,000 euros. So that's 123 acres for 28,000 euros.
That's probably like $35,000. That's crazy.
That's crazy. In America,
that's a crazy amount of land.
You would pay in West Virginia, which you would pay like, I don't know, 5 to 6, 7 times the amount of that.
Yeah, you get like 1 acre, unless you want to further away. Like here in Michigan, if you go like maybe 4 hours away from where I live, you can probably get a decent amount, like not as much as that for that price.
You can get 40 acres. You can get, like, in Michigan, like upper the UP, you can get like 40 acres for about 50,000. It's not too bad. It's actually pretty good up there. It's just that you got to deal with like fucking 12 feet of snow every year.
Right.
Exactly. I looked at that and I was like, fuck, dude, I got to use a snowmobile for half the year. I don't know about all that shit.
What I was gonna say though, what I think's funny is that people are going a different way to kind of take control of their life and have security, which is funny. Right. Like before, the security and to have control over your life was to live in society. You know what I mean? Directly, to have neighbors and shit like that. You know, to have control and make sure things are that people are to find control again in their life. They're moving away and they're actually, you know, doing everything themselves. They're going to feel more secure having your own source of water, electricity, and shit like that, having to worry about dealing with that yourself and making, you know, your living and everything like that, than to live in a city, which is crazy, it's really cool, but I mean...
Well, I mean, because the thing is, look, if you go into a city, what are you getting? You're not getting community.
Right.
You're going to get community in a city. You're not going to. Everyone is just doing their own thing. There's too many people. They bump heads. Your neighbor, you don't even know who the fuck he is. You just see him when he goes out for his mail in the morning. But out there in these, you know, like Tennessee and Missouri, which is where I want to be, there's like, you know, homesteading communities where you can just be like, hey, look, I have a surplus of radishes, or I have a surplus of blueberries. Well, let's fucking give each other a little bit. And everyone's food. There's no money being said. No one can. So it's... And you learn, because dude, you got to go back just like 2 generations, like before our parents, and that's what they were doing. So we lost a lot of that, and a lot of it's fucking cool, man. Learning how to can, learning how to sow, learning how to propagate your own land and feed your family with like really good food. That's where it needs to be now.
Well, I do that. I mean, I started doing that here too a little bit. I think I sent you pictures of it. I was dry curing ham.
Yes, I seen you also. You were doing a lot of gardening.
Yeah, we do gardening, do some dry curing the hams and shit like that. I do make my own cheese. I made my own cheese, yeah. A couple different types of cheese. I gotta make my own cheese. I make my own. So you say that's the third thing that you say to a woman on a date is I make my own cheese.
Yeah, and in Wisconsin it comes out on the second date.
She's like, but like, yeah, and it's great. It's cool. I think it's really
cool. Because the cool thing is you get to mix like modern technology with old school ideas.
Yeah.
Well, old school, like, and it's a reconnection. So the cool thing about being out there, you can decide as to whether or not you want to be involved with this quote unquote culture, like this with this horse
You
shit.
can literally make your own like small little community with people, and you trade, and you got your own electricity and everything.
You know, you got an old man down the street. You can fucking shovel his snow for him or plow his snow up for him, but he always has like the pumpkins, and
he's
you
got
can
a
see
tractor
pumpkins all year long. Yeah, he's got a tractor, and you help him out. Yeah, it's what we actually it's what we need in this world. It's like this connection, this reconnection with the land and reconnection with nature, and people are just like, they're bleaching their assholes and they're fucking. It's
the city is too many people.
Yeah.
Too many people, so you can't trust anybody because you don't trust anybody, and they won't trust you. So they're not going to trust you enough. Yeah.
It's like if you look at it like an economist, like humans or any type of commodity, the more you have of anything, the less it's worth. So when you're driving down the road and there's like 70,000 people around you and someone cuts you off, you're going to go, fuck you. But if you're in a neighborhood, you know what I mean, where people are nicer, there's people, because you know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. It's just too much of something. And people are starting to get sick from it. Like I think by the year 2030, I think half the American population will be type 2 diabetic. I think that's what I've heard. And like 80% of the people, like 70% of the people, or 60, something like that, 70, 67, something like that, are obese. And then all but 10% are at least obese or overweight.
Well, and we eat pretty much. We make our own food probably every day here, and that's the only reason why I haven't seriously exploded into a fat mess. Okay. Because I sit on my computer all day at work. And then when you're done with that, your brain's just melted. You don't want to do anything. I'm gonna have to.
Are you working at home, or are you still going into the office?
I'm at home. I'm gonna be going back into the office next month.
Really? Okay.
1 week.
I've been going the whole goddamn time.
1 week out of the month.
I've been going the whole goddamn time. Mm-hmm. I'm an essential worker. You guys need car sensors, don't you? How do you know if your car is sensing if it needs to brake or not, right?
Yeah, it's another part to break, so you got to pay a bunch of money to get.
Oh, they got these new shit coming out too. We're going to start creating products. New shit where I work, where like the cars are going to start to sense one another.
Let me know when they make a sensor where it knows when your dick's hard, so they'll suck it for you.
Yeah, and see if there's chocolate on it and chiclets. Inside joke.
Inside joke for everybody.
Yeah, I enjoy conspiracy theories.
So stand up. Stand up. The way it's changed in Germany since I left.
It got good, man. I mean, when you were there with me when we started out, I think I was there like 4, 5, 6 months before you. It was like the Wild West, man. It was cool, and we were like even though we weren't good, we were like trying to be real comics, and you've seen this fakeness come in from the Germans. Remember, there used to be like an improv group there that they were talking about diversity and we're in an open blah blah blah. And then I said to him one time, well, why would you say you are? Just be diverse. You don't have to say you are, just be. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best thing about comedy. It's a fucking complete meritocracy. If you're killing, you're killing. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. I don't care if you got one eyeball. I don't give a fuck what you have. And these people are now, I mean, and then like, okay, then after you left, then it started building, like the scene was getting bigger, man. I mean, we were doing like shows, 150, 200 people starting to really get it moving. And then the big C hit, and I don't mean cunty. Then that hit, and then it all took a shit. And then like when you went in, like last year, it was like half the capacity. People are like divided like 2 by 2 with 2 meters between them. So there's none of that when they're jammed together. And that got weird, and then I left up out of the scene because I'm leaving anyway. And but now, and then, but right before that, there was these group of blue hair bitches, I call them, that came in. These blue hair, like, oh my god, like I started talking to this woman. She was pretty funny on stage, right? She had like a Sam Kinison thing going on where she would like yell at the audience, but it was funny. It was like you can really tell she's an angry person.
Is that that crotch one?
No, it's not the crotch. No, it's the other one. The one
don't say the name. Just say crotch.
I don't mind crotch as much as I hate fucking anvil. That's what I'm gonna call her, anvil. The other one on the right bottom.
The one where they Tom showed a picture of dildos and it had zip ties, and she was like,
"What can you do with dildos and zip ties? Like, really?"
And I'm like, "You want to know what I can do with dildos and zip ties?"
He's like, "You're like the Macgyver of smut."
she was like, "Okay, I'm done with this," and she fucking left. I'm like, it didn't even say anything crazy. I didn't even say like I'm gonna fucking zip tie a dildo to your pussy so that you can make sandwiches better. Because I'm a patriarchal white male piece of shit.
Cisgender piece of shit.
Yeah, and I didn't even say anything like that.
So like, the general, like, hey, what's going on? How are you? My name's Tom, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So she was like, so I'm originally here, and then I'm a fucking Capricorn, and I stopped her right there, and I was like, anyone who starts by saying their fucking astrological sign has nothing to say. And I fucking won't, because it's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Like, why would you... Like, it's just another label that like, when did it come to people wanting to label the shit out of it? Like, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like, why would you want to label yourself? Like, me...
It's an affirmation. It's like, I want to be...
Like, I went in my thing, like, going through, like, being against the grain, against the mainstream, was not labeling yourself.
Absolutely.
And it was just like, you're a person. And my whole thing back then was like, love is love. You can love whoever, it's...
What about now? Is it not the same way now? Would you change your mind? Fucking...
It is, but now you have to label yourself. You have to label yourself.
No,
like, you have to, like... I mean, I'm not going to say, like... Okay, well, I've already went through a whole thing where I found out, I'm like, I'm not a gay guy. I don't like dudes. But, like, I'm not going to say...
I've thought about it. Yeah, I've thought about it. Who hasn't thought about it? And if you're that dude who's never just like, okay, let's see what that thought process would be like, and you just realize, oh yeah, I can't do that. You know what I mean? It doesn't. You know what I mean? But
but I'm like, I'm not.
But now you're
say,
homophobic.
I'm not gonna say like that's. I think it's a spectrum maybe in that sense that I don't think that people are either gay or straight. I think there's people in between that are like a little gayer, a little less gay, whatever. But before going to that, it was like
still a cutoff.
You shouldn't have to label. Yeah, you shouldn't have to label yourself like any. Like, I don't feel like you should have to label your. Like, why do you? They make it a part of their personality, and what it probably is what a lot of other people say too is they have no personality besides that, and that's why that chick you seen in that video. She wrote writer, what was the polyamorous? And it's like she made it her personality. It's not a personality to fucking talk about being polyamorous all the time. It's not a personality. No. Like, what's a personality? I think you're
drawn. Aren't you like me? Aren't you drawn to people who are just different? Like you see someone like that's truly different. Like, you're just like, that fucking chick is. Well, I don't know what that is. Like, when you see, whatever, you see Patrice O'Neill, one of the greatest comics of all time, and you hear him and you listen to his logic and you go, all right, that dude, that's a different kind of person right there. But that's the thing. The thing is they want to fit in somewhere because they have nothing going on for them. They work in a 70-hour-a-week job and they live in a shitty apartment and they eat fucking processed food and they don't feel any connection to anything because they're in this bubbled, everything's clean and I use hand sanitizer and they fucking and then when they do that, then they feel like they've accomplished something that it's meaningful to them, and that's okay with me. But what's not okay with me is this constant narrative that's being perpetuated by these propaganda machines, I guess you would call. I guess is to use the word that everyone else uses. Whatever it's called.
Are you talking about the Illuminati, or are you talking about Jews? Because if you're talking about Jews, this is strictly a non-anti-Semitistic.
No, I'm
okay.
talking about.
I used to think I was Jewish. Okay.
Dude, don't fuck with me. I'm talking about the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar.
I know what you're talking.
The Knights Templar. I'm talking about
the
black nobility. I'm going deeper than what you're talking. I probably know more conspiracy theories than you do.
Maybe.
I know a lot.
Is that a sexuality too?
Well, my point, what I was trying to get to, probably, Yeah, you like people who
Hey,
don't
you
touch
seem
the
kind of
government?
smart.
Like,
My wiener's getting hard.
hey, you seem to like to wear aluminum foil on your head. You want to get down and bake a potato or what?
I want to
Yeah,
bake
but the
your
thing
head
is
like a
that
potato.
like I have no problem with people trying to find their way in this whatever this is that we're in.
This
My
thing's
problem
itchy, man. I gotta take it off.
is there constant, if you do not do this as well or accept me being this way, then you are a piece of shit. And I'm like, no, I'm just an individual. I'm just me. And if you don't like that, they're like, oh, you're a fucking dinosaur. And that's where I had issues with it. It's just fucking grow up. It's like cosplay or something. Go shut the fuck up for once. Do something with your life.
I think the main point of that is like they desperately want to be like one of those people. Like I feel like when I meet people, which probably everybody does. There's like it feels like there's archetypes of different types of people, and when you meet somebody, you're like, oh, this person reminds me of this person.
Of this person, yes.
And this person reminds me of this person from my past. I think people do that, but there's always every once in a while you meet somebody where you're like, they don't. They're not one of those people. Like maybe a little bit, but they don't really fit like that. And then those are the like you're saying the type of people I find interesting. And a lot of times those are the people where you feel like they're kind of they're like sincerely individual. And most of the time those are the type of people that don't care about fitting into some type of thing. And I think that's what those people are. They're they're the regular kids in school that, you know, when you meet them, it's not anything you don't care, like you don't remember that person anymore. And then they're trying to desperately get out of that, and they think that they're doing it by labeling themselves something, but what they're really doing is they're just still
actually falling into the yes. Yeah, I feel the same thing. Like when I met you, I was like, okay, this is different.
5'9",
like when you yelled, when you
legs.
when you did your not bisexual, but your bipolarism, and you did that thing where you yelled at the top of your lungs. Dude, that was like I was like, dude, I have to meet I've been, my whole life is meant to meet this guy because I need someone like this in my life. And I was like, okay, he's like, I thought you were definitely having mental issues, which I can also connect with you on. It's different for me, but yeah, we have a lot of that too. And but I was like, this guy's a little sadomasochistic for sure, for sure. He's like, I'm like, is he suicidal, or is he just expressing those dark thoughts that we all have? And then like the more I got to know you, I was like, oh, he's a sweet dude, and he's fucking, you're like very smart, you know what I mean? And that's just not so it's like it is you, but on stage it's like that extra
amplified.
And it's like you're
the exaggerated.
Like, you left there. You left the scene in like what, 4 years ago, 3.5, 4 years ago, and like we still talk about you. You know what I mean? It's like that. If he ever got his shit together, because sometimes you're a little fucking, you know what I mean? You're you. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you're like I'm more the Doug Stanhope, where I'm still crazy, but I can get it together. Yeah. You're more like the Andy Andrist, where it's like you're fucking crazy and hilarious, and I'll never be as funny as you. I feel in many degrees. I'm different. Yeah, shit, whatever. But I would leave, if you know what I'm saying. If I had a chance to see me or a chance to see you, I would go see you. And then I would go see me, but I would go see you first, because the thing is, you never know if it's going to be the most epic bomb ever. I'm talking nuclear fallout, or it's going to be the killing of a lifetime where there's fucking entrails hanging from the rafters. So that's what with you was, and you were starting to figure out to get it more towards the entrails, towards the rafter, and then, you know, like me, life changes and moves on. Yeah. But that's what I felt about you when I seen you. I was like, this is an individual. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody in the comedy scene was a weird dude. Yeah. You know that. Everybody was like...
Well, I think everybody that was in the scene that we liked, really talked to and connected with, I think was...
Yeah, man.
You know, there were other people that came and everything like that. You know, that fat fucking Milo dude who was just You could tell he was just like a parasite.
Yeah, Kim Jong.
Kim Jong. Yeah, like you could tell he was just there for the ride. But like, yeah,
I don't know, man.
Everybody had their own thing. Like Saqib.
Hard to pin down.
Shout out to Saqib, man.
The great
like,
Saqib Rasul, man. Funny dude.
Insanely fucking funny, and just
the Pakistani Millhouse.
And it's like it's almost like he knew exactly, like, well, I don't think he tried to find his voice. I think he just naturally fucking did it. Cause like but
he's the same dude off the stage.
That's what I'm saying. He never really, he never really thought about trying to think of a voice. He just went up and was himself. And I mean, of course, he learned over time, you know, what parts of himself are good that work. But like,
I've seen him kill, man. You've seen him kill, man.
Yeah,
just like, this guy is,
just even like the way that he was almost like a pitcher winding up to throw a pitch sometimes, because he'd step back like this for a second from the mic, and it was like he was getting ready, and then he'd come back with the next one, and then he'd do his thing, and then he'd add his hands, like, you know, and then he'd step back for a second, and then he'd come back and then do the next one.
Yeah.
And it was I can't really see a comic where I can point and say he's really a lot like him. So he's really individual. No. I know for a while I was.
There's hints of like Stephen Wright,
like
little, but not really. It's not even. I wouldn't, definitely not Hedberg, but it's definitely deadpan. That's the only thing you can say about it. It's deadpan to categorize again that we hate so much. But he has this thing where he sees the world, and he's super smart about it. He's not the kind of guy who gets online and gets in a bunch of arguments. I mean, we would be arguing online, and he'll post a picture of Michael Jackson eating popcorn and Thriller. It's just like, all right, I see you, man. He's a killer, man. And he doesn't go there anymore either, man. He said, "Fuck that." Because what happened to me and other people in the community, he was like, "I'm out." And
which is sad, because like I said, he was something of his own.
Unique. Like, you could look at you and you'd be like, okay, he's definitely like very influenced by Louis C.K. Me, I'm very like Carlin. And like, you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't know you were doing it at the time.
No, there's a period of time. There was a period of time where I look back, I'm like, that's definitely CK. I feel like towards the end, like that one last video that you looked at, I feel like if I would have had just a little bit more time, like I would have had more of my own thing. I felt like I already started going in my own like direction with
your
things.
Little niche,
yeah, doing my own, like having more of my own style, and then it was done. And then, I mean, it got to that point. You hear in the video where I just say, I don't have my material with me, and I just did it. It just went.
And that's the one that.
And that's because I was in the fucking zone, and I was comfortable, and like, I don't know.
If you want to hear an annoying laugh, fucking watch that video of me fucking recording this asshole doing the, what was it, the suicide hotline from behind the couch, and he's like, don't make me laugh, and he's calling it, and he's doing the voices, and the people in the audience were just it was ridiculous murder.
The thing is, you don't remember how good it was or not good it was until like if you watch it again, because because when I watched that Das Wohnzimmer one, I thought it was not a lot of laughs, but I heard, if you can hear that table in the back were fucking losing it, like clapping, and fucking the one lady laughing and yelling or some shit. So like, I mean, but you know, in the moment you don't think about that. You just think about, you know, your stumbles and, you know, what you got to do next. Yeah.
Well, what happens, dude, is like I think I started like about 6 months before you, I think, right? Something like that. Something like that. And what happens is, like, eventually I was right on the cusp of like where I finally found my voice, or I felt I found my voice, and I was on the cusp of like where you don't need to laugh all the time. know what I'm talking about? Like that's a weird one. That's a weird one. Or feeling, and right before that was the pressure of succeeding for yourself and people expecting something of you. That's a weird one. Where like you know, they would put me up right before the half so people would come back. I would always get that spot, man. He'd be like, "Hey, we're only doing 8-minute sets, but Tom, you know, you come up, you drive 2 hours. You can do, you know, if you do like 10, 11, no big deal." And he would just give me, because he knew, you know what I mean? And then people were like, you know, so during the break, people come, "Oh, that fucking, oh, I know that." And then I would, you know, I like
you have to bring it back, yeah.
I like to talk to people and be open with them. "Oh, sure, go ahead, try stand up." You know, half of them are going to suck, but you know, it's part of the, you know, par for the course. And it's weird when people will start to be like, before the show, like 2 weeks before they seen you, and then they come in, they're like, "Hey, are you going to do this bit tonight? Because I brought my friend." Or, "Are you got new material?" Or, you know, other comics will come up to you and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And that got fucking weird, man. And I don't know what to tell anybody. I'm just like, just fucking, these are the tricks I try, and just, okay. And then they'll come to me and ask me to riff on their stuff and things like that. It's a weird feeling, man.
Well, that's the thing, like, I think that most people don't get is that you can try to tell people, you know, things that work, but it might only work for you. It might not work for them. It might, you know, but people people see it as more of like a skill that you can obtain from learning from somebody else, which to some certain point you learn little tricks from other comedians and stuff.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Like exactly what Stanhope said to me was like, you won't know until you do it. Like you have to go up there, you have to eat shit, and then you got to figure out like, okay, how do I not eat shit next time?
Right.
A little less shit.
Yeah, I think Sherrod Small said it really good. He said you have to know how to suck. You have to know how to bomb before you know how to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you know how to bomb, so when you start to climb and you start getting a little bit of success, or you start getting like instead of 1 laugh in 10 minutes, which is where you and I started, to getting like 1 laugh every, you know, whatever, minute and a half, you know, however we're structuring the bits. And when it's not working, you are comfortable because you've had it worse. You know what I mean? You're like, this is no big deal. I got 4 laughs. You know what I mean? I'm fucking, and then like, "Oh, that one didn't work, but check this one out, fucking faggots." And you turn around and you grab your paper and be like, "Yeah, lesbian fisting, let's talk about it." And you just, you know what I mean? That's the fun part of it. Throwing spaghetti against the wall. You get fearless, man. You and I have done some hellish gigs, dude, where people are eating chicken wings and you're talking about cloning your wife and having mass graves in the fucking back behind the building. And it's just like, there's like 2 people eating, and you're just, and I'm fucking dying on the side because you just we went through that, man. And a lot of people there, like, who came later, because you and I, like, when we got there was like maybe 5, 6 comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of,
like
you were like
regulars,
the newest guy.
like regulars.
Yeah, like regulars. I was a regular by that time. There was Keith, there was Julian, there was Pedro, there was Curdy, of course. And Carpenen, and then there was me, and you were like number 7, and then you came, and I was like, that's the dude right there. And Curdy was like, he would look at me, dude, because me and him started, you know, got to being friends over time. He was like, "What is with this fucking guy?" And I was like, "I don't know, but that's dude, we don't fucking, because I'm not telling him not to do anything. And just let him be himself." And we would just howl because it was so stupid, the shit you would say.
Yeah.
And it was clever too. It was clever too. You would be so descriptively disgusting, but like weirdly like likable. It's like, what the fuck?
That's something like I think that's something that I had to learn how to do, because eventually in circus they did know you a little bit, like at least most people. And then I feel like if you're in the audience and you have like a decent amount of people laughing, you kind of feel like, oh, this is okay. That's something I had to learn, because when you did other places, it wasn't like that. They don't know you. They don't know you at all. and you have to gain that trust, and that's when I really started throwing in those shitty jokes in the beginning. The potato salad joke. Yeah.
I did that too to get him like,
today,
okay, I can trust him.
Today I went to the store and I forgot the milk, but the milk never forgot me. Like these stupid jokes, and then I would literally just go, okay, enough of that shit. And then I go into my thing. It's like I got you moving a little bit. You trust me a little bit. I'm not an asshole. All right, let's go. Let's talk about killing kids.
Another thing that I learned to do, Another thing I learned to do is to come out with like the proper energy, like this, because a lot of people I run into, like, you know, Marco. You never seen Marco? He's great too. You would like him. He's a good comic.
He was the one that was just did the O'Reillys, right?
I don't know if I went to O'Reilly's one time, so I don't know. That's the show you were trying to get going off the ground, and so you probably met him. He was like he has a leg shorter than the other. He's got like a little, he's super deadpan, and then you have Zakip up there who's deadpan, and then you have Tom with his weird shit. So I would not
Tom and his whatever
the
fuck that is.
Whatever the fuck that is. I wouldn't watch that. For a while, I would watch it to learn, and then I stopped watching it. And then I realized that I would come in and the audience would be much more accepting because I came in with this confidence. And if you come in with confidence, not like overconfidence, it's just like, hey, what's up, man? I'm happy to be here tonight. Fucking, hey, let's get into it. So, retarded people, and whatever you're doing, whatever, whatever. It's just trying to be gruesome at the moment, but they would be more accepting of you coming with the right energy, which they can also backfire on you too. If it doesn't work, then you have to learn how to dig yourself out of the hole, gain their trust again, and then hit them in the mouth again, and then they'll be like, okay. And that's a weird process too, man.
I think that's a good time to throw in, like, for me, like, I felt that's when I would start looking for something in the audience to just throw in there and be like let's go back to the last video. Like, I started noticing that chick had her arms crossed.
Yes.
And then I talked about it. I feel like that's like one of the tricks to get out of it too, is that you pull into something that's easier to laugh at so they can get going again, and then you can go back to fucking doing whatever you want. But there's so many places also... like the place here that I did. I think I talked about it before. I did.
You said it was weird, yeah. You told me it was weird.
Yeah, they got upset that I fucking went darker. I'm like, but I did my job. I had everybody laughing here, so maybe not everybody, but I got a lot of good laughs considering it was the first time I'd been on stage in 2 years, and it was almost like they have like this, no, you can't, you know, you have to start out like this, and then once you get really good, then you can go blue. I'm like, I'm gonna go blue right now. Like, I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about, and
this is what comedy is. Do you remember?
Right.
If you don't remember, go back and listen to Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Bicentennial, you know what, and that is crazy. Go back and watch those again, and then come back and talk to me, because he's the one that you're piggybacking off of is him. You understand what I'm saying? You're picking back off of him, and then you're stabbing him in the back. This is how it's supposed to be done. Not saying you can't change and make it different, but to tell others come on, shut the fuck up with your nonsense.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm like tooting my own horn, but I think they were upset because I got more laughs than they did, and it was their show, and, you know, they're normally, what they want is they want like little minions. They want people to come in that don't get as many laughs as them, that go, you know, I thought it was good, you know, how can you help me make it better?
Yeah.
And me, I just came in, I'm like, hey, I'm just this guy, I did comedy before, okay, let me on stage, I did my fucking thing, I got off, I didn't come and jerk the fucking manager off, or jerk the fucking show runner off, and I fucking sat with my friends, and... You know, that was it.
Right.
I got comments from other comedians where they said, "Oh, it was pretty good, man. You know, how long have you done it?" Blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. And me right now, I'm at the point where I feel like I'd like to start going back on stage, but the way the shows are set up right now, I'm drive an hour away to go on stage for 3 minutes with a bunch of assholes, and then drive another hour home. I don't have that energy right now, or the
Oh, the time.
The time is what it is.
The time is what it is. It's not the energy. You definitely want to, because if you were like scot free, like where I'm going to be doing, I don't know if they're going to laugh at a fucking pinche gringo in Mexico, but I would go down there and make fun of everybody. I make fun of everybody.
I'm sure there'll be a lot.
But you never
chiller.
got that here. You never got that here. You never. I mean, you would get like the Germans who give you that look of like, what the fuck, which I enjoy, because the thing is that they are not funny. Let's make this abundantly clear. Germans
it's like,
are
I can't clap at
funny.
this. I can't clap at what you're saying.
They'll give you a dirty look and they'll go, ugh, but they won't like voice their displeasure. They'll just kind of go and sit back in their chair. So I can deal with that a lot better than I can with something like, yeah, which I started running into.
And the other thing I brought up,
then I would go up there and fucking smash him in the fucking face.
The heckling thing, I didn't realize until I thought
heckled,
back. I got heckled a lot. I didn't even realize it. Like, I remember we'd have those conversations about it where we're like, what do you do? Like, that's like one of the first things I think a lot of like beginning comedians talk about is like, what do you do when you get heckled? Like, what are you going to do? And I think that I never had an issue with it because I was working half spontaneous, half written. So for me, it was like, I'm already like figuring it out as I go along. Mostly
hitting your
hitting my milestones,
hitting your junctions and your points,
the talking points that I want to. So for me, it wasn't like if something happened in between there, it wouldn't throw me off because I'm like I don't have a set thing to do, so I'm just I can go with it. So I felt like for me, and it was something that I didn't even really address either. It was like somebody would say something and I'd say something back to them, and if it was it, then I just kept going. And if not, if they kept going a little more, like I never got majorly heckled because I usually just fucking shut it down. It was like some bitch like oh, you got your arms crossed, looking blah, blah, and then that was it.
I never got too much heckles. Because my stuff is different than yours. Like well, when you see me, I was a little more methodical and planned out, but which makes it not as funny because it seems like I'm reading a script, and that's another problem that comics make. And what I learned is I have to hit these goalposts. I have to kick it through here, but to get it to wherever I'm getting to get to here, as long as I'm just talking and just being like, fucking this and this to happen. People, it's easier for you and it's much more digestible for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's more natural. So, and in those periods, it's not more of a heckle, but it's not a heckle, but it's more like someone would like agree with me, or someone would be like, yeah, fucking, that's true. And you'd be like, that's what I'm talking about, right? But very rarely would someone say something that was negative to what I was doing. It's happened, but it's never been. I've always had a few like, you have like this the new comic who has like the planned out. So like the other day kind of thing. So you never can do that either because they can read right through that, man. And that's what you try to tell like young dudes and chicks that are getting into. You're like, you gotta like not. You just gotta go and do it, and you gotta suck. You gotta suck.
Or bring up, I tell people, don't talk about doing stand-up. Don't talk about doing stand-up for the first time. Don't tell the audience this is your first time on stage, because everybody does it, and it's not funny. It's not, whatever you're gonna say about me being on stage.
Did you do it before? Did you do it? I did it.
I think I said to somebody, this is my first time on stage. It's like, what do you get out of it? Nothing.
No, you did a bit about it was your first time on stage and being nervous, and that you thought you were gonna like come in your pants or something.
Yeah.
Or something like this.
That was the first time I went there, and then I realized what it was when I was on stage, and I'm like, oh. And I think a lot of people, because you have a different notion of what it's gonna be until you get up there.
Yeah. Do you remember your first joke? I remember mine. Mine was awful.
Yeah, mine. That was literally the first one. What you just said. It was.
Yeah.
Like I was nervous before I got on stage, and I thought that I might say something wrong, and I might just pull my dick out and just check out in front of everybody.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. That was your first joke. Mine was. This is my first time doing comedy, which you were just saying, and I promised myself it won't be like the first time I've had sex because this time I won't cry. And nothing.
Yep.
And I did it. My shit was the beginning in front of an all German room. You know what I mean? And,
which was even worse. Oh, talk about that. Talk about me doing the set in German. Me translating. My dumb ass saying, "Oh, I could just translate it on the fly," and then going on stage and doing it in German. It worked way better than I thought it would, but it was definitely it's not the same. Like
same.
I did the cat joke. I did the cat joke in German, and
okay.
It was weird. I'd get laughs at weird spots, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, and it throws you off too because your timing is automatically different because just the grammar change itself and the intonation you speak in the language, and then you have a person laughing at a point that you don't expect. So it's weird, man. I've done it before, and I've never had any luck with it because my shit is so word specific. And I'm different than you in a sense where I do more of wordplay, and it just doesn't work. Like I like to take a phrase or a saying that we all say, flip it on its ass, and then take it as if it were to be real, and then make that its own reality. And then, but the trick to that is getting people to accept the change in reality. And if you're doing that in another language, you can fucking forget it, bro. Just like get out of here with this shit. And the thing is, American comedy is so much different than German comedy, if you can even call it that. It's like we're so direct in a sense as where they're so like milk toast, and it's like this, and I can't believe it. What was the one with the gym you were telling me? I've gone to the gym. What was the gym joke you told me about that the Germans do where they go to the? I've only been there twice or something. That was the punchline at the end. Oh, it's so typical.
Something like I went to the gym and then today I actually worked out or like something.
Yeah,
like
that. That's a typical German joke.
Yeah,
and they are literally 50 years behind America in stand-up. It is the black hole of comedy, bro.
Pretty much.
And when you get someone, and then when someone like you and I get up there, I remember we did the 5 comics one night, and you were I wouldn't say you were doing well, but you were on fire. You were definitely being Barrett that night. And I'm somewhere in between. I can hit those notes that you hit too, but I have my own thing. And then when they got off stage, you were still up and you walked these people. And I went up before you, and I'm upstairs drinking, talking shit to whoever, and they come up and they're just like, you were okay, but I don't agree with this, and that one fat fucker down there.
That's not comedy.
Oh, it was, and I defended everything. I was just like, yeah, whatever. You just don't get it. You know what I mean? So it's not for everybody.
With that shit, we had so much time though, and that's why I would throw in something weird that would take up like 10 minutes. Yeah. I'd make something up like a couple days before the show, and I'd be like, all right, let's just do this weird thing on stage. Like that time when I was wearing like that black thing and magical things are happening, magical.
Weren't you wearing like a beret?
Yeah. I did a song.
I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but did you paint your face like black? Didn't you have black paint in your face and you wore like a green beret, like you were a dude who went through the jungle or something?
I don't know if I put. Did I put? I think I painted my face. I painted my face. I think with some shit on there. I think, and that was where I pre-recorded a song that was like a musical about my typical day. And that's what I had. I did one too about having a dream. I think I remember. I had a dream.
Yeah, and you had this music. Yeah, it was weird. It was so weird.
And Jesus or something was there, and
when you were done, you were sweating so much the makeup was like pouring down your face, and you were like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "I don't think it's good, bro." But you tried. I loved it. I love the. There was times you would play guitar when he had his Curdy was having like that talk show thing, where he would like interview people, and you were just like, and then like you get on stage. We did everything, man. It was like a microcosm of a career in like 4 years or whatever you did it. It was weird, man. A lot of fun, though.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I definitely miss that aspect of being in Germany. And I mean, I think it was coming to the point where like, I mean, I could have hosted karaoke and started hosting open mic shows, and it could have done it like. That could have been my job. Like, eventually.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been my thing, and then I had to leave it to come here, and I don't regret it though. But I mean, I definitely miss our, it wasn't even just doing the show. It was meeting up with the boys, having a good talk beforehand,
doing the podcast before the fucking show. We were just like
amp each other up basically with
yeah,
it.
Yeah, and just and dude, and you would if like it when you missed it, but when we went to this other place later, like the circus changed out, and we went to the place where we had your
roast.
going away show, your going away show / roast that the Filipino fucking Dan Marino did, and no, Danny DeVito, that's what I call him, Filipino Danny DeVito, and and then we went to this place called the Co-working. It was like a place, it was like just a one room, and it had a bunch of desks in it. We would have to go in every time, move all the desks and then set up the chairs, and it would hold maybe, I don't know, 45, 50 people. And there was no elevated stage, but there was like a little carpet they had out, and they had the microphone and the stuff. And there was this green room that you had to walk between when you come up and paid. You had to walk through the green room to get to the main room where the comedy show was. And in that room, bro, if you were in that room, you would have loved it. It would have been your shit, because you just sat there. And if you came in with the wrong shirt, it was fucking over. Carpenter came in with his chorizo on his fucking eyelids, started talking, that shit was flapping around. And he was, and dude, the chaos, we was just fucking lay into each other. Everybody would come up there and everyone was fucking with one another, and everyone, it was such a great like vibe, right? It was no hostility. It was like love, you know what I mean? And people don't get that when we're saying that. I don't mean that you're a disgusting homosexual person that needs to be you need to have correction rate put on you or whatever the fuck it is. None of this. It's more like, hey dude, we're gonna do this, right? It's okay, let's see what fucked up shit you come up with tonight. And then you start warming it, just like you were saying, warming each other up.
Warm up.
Yeah,
it's like, you pump each other up, you warm yourself up, and then it's like you get pumped up for the game. And then once you go on, and the other ones, when they're on stage, if they do well, that pumps you up even more. You're like, I gotta fucking hit it when I get on there. He's
gonna make me right. Like, dude, Barrett just fucking, dude, I was gonna do this bit, but now I got to try this bit because I think the audience will go for it. Like sometimes you would like see how the waters are being tested with that particular audience, and then you would kind of adjust to say something a little bit more that you would want to be, to other than try to win them over. And that's incredible. Or you would see someone pull off a bit that you would think, if you like sat down afterwards and like thought about it in your head, you would be like, that's so hard to pull off. But if you see them do it, it motivates you, because you're like, well, he did that while we were together fucking at the head shop getting the fucking pipe, remember? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I went to a head shop and grabbed the pipe. And it's like, that's the journey of it, I guess you say. Just be like fucking really old man reminiscent of it. But right now, dude, I just can't right now. It's not, I got too many ththings going on, and I just can't be up there with a fucking dictator.
Yeah.
I just can't be up there with this dictator that's up there right now. It's like the Comedy Store went bad. Literally, like the Comedy Store used to be the shit when Robin Williams and Richard Pryor and all these people were, Sam Kinison were there, and then it hit this dark patch for like 15 years, and now it's like good again. That's what's happening right now. It's in this, so I can't be up there. It's just like, whatever, you get rid of him, then I'll go. Like, I think Kirsch should run the shows. If Kirsch run the show, Julian, that would be perfect. He's fine. He's that kind of guy, man. Goofy, little weird, run lights, fucking turn on the microphone. How fucking hard is it? But yeah, I miss those days. Like, 'cause I would come in there and I would see Kurt. He had a big dumb smile on his face with his big stupid long legs and he had too little torso for too much legs. You know what I mean? And I would see your big dumb ass in the corner sweating like always. And it was on, and that's the best part. That's the best part. Like, you never know.
I'm pulling up this Lilly Singh chick.
What's that?
What'd she say? Monologue.
Fuck yeah, monologue.
Where she talks about, let's see, what did she say? Let's see where this shit
Hey,
is at.
we see you out there, doing
hear
your
the
thing.
music, but
the
you
trail
don't see
runners
the video.
and the hell no runners, the pow hunters and the one run hit the hot tubbers. And we're right there with you, making sure your good times
Pierce told
don't
me he
get
made it
harshed
home.
by Mother Nature.
Oh, did he?
We
He's like,
want more you.
I found my
more
way home
summits,
somehow.
More trails.
Yeah, he's like,
more laughter,
I'm
more
gonna come
more.
over there and I'm gonna buy one of your paintings. I'll be in Lutzer
So get out there.
And this week, and then I wrote him like a week before. I was like, hey man, when are you coming? He's like, oh, I'll be there.
And today,
right now I'm in Crete. He was in Crete. He was in the fucking island. He was in the middle of Demisexual. Oh, I comes there, and then he came over. and We got hammered and stoned, and he was like, at the end, he bought a painting and won
things I've ever done. Nope. And I chose to come out online, which is a great way to let people know something, especially if you want to instantly know exactly how they feel about you. But as scared as I was, I quickly realized that for every negative comment I received, I'd get 100 that were super supportive. And I was now part of this loving community that was ready to step up, support me, and fight the trolls. Yeah.
You mean you?
This is almost like German comedy where they're going more for like claps and applause and and one of the things we talk about too, where it's almost like you have to show humility on stage, and this is more of like bully like the cool kid in school, like trying to be like that, like I'm so powerful, I'm so strong, look at me, instead of like yeah, I got these things, but I'm just a normal person, and like I don't know.
If you really like whatever it is, like say you're like a talented person in something that's a little weird, like you're the best like Jew part player or something, like you don't need to flaunt that. I don't understand why that's the first thing that people want to talk about, instead of like what they find interesting about reality. I don't know anything other than my I want to put my PP in this, or I want to put my tongue in that. Why is that the number one thing? I don't know.
It's crazy. Everybody has to identify by their sexuality. It gets even better. So
I can't imagine getting better.
The exact same plot as Harry Potter. It's just too bad this didn't happen.
You're a bisexual, Lily.
Would have made things a lot less confusing. Ironically, when you have sex with women, though, you don't have to worry about Hogwarts.
Wait. Hogwarts, she's saying a hog is a penis? And warts, like genital warts, so if you have sex with women, you don't get penis warts. Oh my god, what a play on words. I wonder how many fucking writers this bitch has. Look at it. Look, I don't know. It's so funny. I can't believe I just did this. Everybody, like, this girl right here, she's like,
I can't.
Like,
oh
my god, like fucking, I think women are strong as men. Like,
I had this chick in my sociology class. They brought up the conversation of transgender wrestlers, and whether it was okay or not, and nobody wanted to say anything. And she raised her hand. She's like,
I think it's totally fine because, sometimes women are stronger. Women can be just as strong as men. And, there are probably women wrestlers that can just beat up a lot of men, too.
And that's what this girl right here is. She's like,
I live in this world.
Maybe Ronda Rousey versus an untrained fat fuck like you or me or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
But on average, if you're a trained wrestler and you both trained at the same time and you're the same weight class, there is literally a 99.9% chance you won't.
Right. And
I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. It just is a thing.
Well, that's the thing. She grew up in the world where mom and dad, every little thing she did,
like, Mommy, I drew you this.
Like, you're fucking 14 years old and you're still drawing stick figures. Instead of saying that, they're like,
oh my god, it's beautiful.
It's the expression in your life. Why do you think you see these cartoons that are so simple like that, too? Because those motherfuckers think that they're artists. They're like, it's a stick person and it's got its own way to look like a stick person.
and it's really hard to do. No, it's not. It's lazy, and then you just pass it off as fucking art just because.
So to cut against what you're saying, what do you say about South Park?
South Park, it was done with construction paper.
Right.
And it wasn't even just like cheaply done. Like the amount of work that you had to put into it to make it construction paper, it was like choosing a medium to do it. You know what I mean? But the difference is, like, what I'm saying is you'll see a lot of those cartoons that they have that are really simply drawn, and I feel like it's simply drawn for one reason, because it's easy, quick, and like almost lazy, and then they make simple modifications to it to make it like their own personal thing. And what it is you'll have a guy, he'll look at like one of these really awesome old school fucking genius artists like that made this painting, and they'll look at it and they'll think, yeah, that's easy. All he did, like with Van Gogh, like all he did is just make like little lines, little dashes, and then that's
right.
So they take that and they think that, oh, well, all you have to do is just make a look, and
there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, it's lazy, but anyway.
Or like Jackson Pollock, he just made spirals, bro.
Yeah. And that's all it is. Yeah.
It wasn't even a full year ago. I mean, this is all new to me. I'm still on my learner's permit. Which is great, because learning's more fun when someone else is in the car with me. And
you know that screenshot? The screenshot you took is like blocking the video.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't see it very well. She's like behind the screenshot of herself.
Right here?
Yeah.
Why is it in your view? Oh, because I know why. Because you're seeing it on this screen. Because I'm sharing this to you. But what I'm actually sharing on the video, it's hard to... Technical difficulty.
Before I even came out, there were already people in my community who just didn't understand LGBTQ+ issues. I mean, straight up, they thought a pansexual is someone who gets horny in the kitchen section of Target.
Dude, that was like...
That's like the worst joke.
That was like fucking, I've been doing stand-up for a month. Let me do this joke at an open mic. And look, see this guy's face? He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who's actually laughing at this? This girl, again. This fucking girl right here.
Yeah.
My mom and dad, she lives in this like little fucking bubble their entire life.
She's either in the cul-de-sac, in the mall, or at school.
And she feels like her story is similar to this lady's story of growing up in like fucking, I'm not gonna say she's probably like a middle class chick, but imagine she's like a lower class black person that struggled and everything. She feels like she's connected with her because she's a little brown and because she's a woman. It's like your two stories do not connect. But she feels like she's fighting for her too, and her right here, she's like, I'm just fucking trying to do my thing, and this girl's like, oh my god, we gotta fight. This girl's kind of laughing. This chick's like here, like, what does pansexual right here mean? And then look at this chick. She's like, I just queefed. Anyway.
And to be fair, I'm not even sure what to call my new community. I'm confused too. Some people use LGBT+, some use LGBTQ, some use LGBTQIA, or LGBTQ.
So the rule of threes obviously was not taught to this fucking dumb bitch.
QIAA. I mean, sexuality has more flavors than Baskin Robbins.
Sexuality has more flavors than Baskin Robbins. Like, are you fucking... You gotta think. They sat down in a fucking room the entire week and brainstormed on what fucking jokes she's gonna do in this monologue, because the monologue's supposed to hit them, and then you have your like sketches and all your shit, but that fucking monologue's gotta blow people out of their seats to stay tuned for the rest of the show, and then you can have like a decent sketch and a kind of shitty sketch, and then you got a really good sketch, and then you end it with whatever shit.
And this is like her fucking. She's like, okay, guys, these are the best ones. Let's go for it for the monologue.
Was this on like regular TV?
This was fucking on a regular TV fucking show. Yes, she had her own fucking show. Carson Daly used to have a show in this time, like in this slot, and she fucking ended up getting the slot. So.
Or LGBTQQIAA. I mean, sexuality has more flavors than Baskin Robbins. And I'm still getting used to being out in public with another woman. And I freak out. I'm like, oh my God, okay, everyone is staring at me. And then I'll be relieved when I remember, oh, right, I'm famous.
See, right there, okay.
Do you see how fake it is?
Yeah, and it's
cringy.
It's the thing we were talking about where you have to have humility, and you're supposed to be more humble. Like, okay, you don't have to unless you're playing it's funny if you're playing a character that's like, hey, what's up? You know, I fucked 20 girls a night. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so fucking famous, guy. If you're playing a character, but to come out and be like, everybody's looking at me, and it's hard to get used to being with another woman in public. Everybody's looking at me, and then I realize, oh, it's because I'm famous, and that's the punchline. Like,
did you hear the
like,
it's like a favorite basketball.
Do I have?
It's the timing is so awful, and you can see it's very disingenuous.
Do I have to? Do I? It's for me. It's the same thing as like, do I seriously have to wait for a table? I'm famous. Do you know that? Do you know I'm famous, right? Oh my God, those people over there are looking at me. Maybe it's because I'm famous.
Apparently not that famous because I have no idea who she is.
I didn't know either until.
Is that right? Is that or they is?
She wasn't really famous, and she had. I guess they gave her 2 seasons, and then they cut her show. So
She's cute.
They don't do one season anymore. They don't do one season anymore with people that blow. Because then it looks like they cut the show because they didn't like the content. So they give them at least 2 seasons, and then they say, well, we got to move on. So She got 2 seasons, yeah. Like that fucking, Mindy Kaling or whatever the fuck I always talk about. She keeps getting shows on, like, Netflix. They keep giving her shows, and it's fucking dog shit. Anyway,
know who that is.
Yeah, well, we can find something of hers after this. This is the mean woman hating, white man hating, the brown woman section of it, because they're not going to take anything we say as being valid just because it makes sense. It's because we're 2 white dudes picking on this brown woman who's so famous. She doesn't even care because I'm so famous.
Sexuality is a spectrum, and now that my place on the spectrum has shifted, I realize how many little parts of straight privilege I took for granted. Seriously. Like, there are basically 0 rom-coms that reflect how I feel. I want to watch When Harry Met Sally, and Sally met Priya, and Priya met Rico, and Rico met Frank. That's what I want to watch, okay? And how about music? Queer people rarely get love songs, and when they do, they're completely misunderstood. Remember when Frank Ocean first came out? People tried to label him as a
made a couple of those, and they got mad at him.
First of all, he's bi, not gay. And he's so hot, he's also the reason I know I'm bi, not gay. Not to mention coming to terms with being queer and being Indian.
It's like this entire thing is just going on about my fucking labels.
It sounds like
Not to mention the fact that I'm queer and I'm Indian.
It sounds like a rambly old bitch. It's literally I'm not really listening.
There's a lot of
I don't know what to say.
Community. In fact, when it came out, people told me that I'd lose all of my popularity, all of my fans, and all of my business in India. But then I didn't. Turns out in a place with 1.3 billion people, a lot of them don't give an F about who I give an F.
Ugh. Oh my God.
Strong.
Homosexual sex was just decriminalized in India, but there are plenty of places in the world where it's still a crime to be gay.
Oh, this is where we have to learn something. This is where we need to learn. Like, her audience that she's talking to that actually watches this fucking show, there's no way that they don't go, I didn't know that there was gay outlaws in the thing. Are you serious?
You mean to tell me they don't burn them like they used to?
Is this really happening? Like, You can't tell me that they don't fucking know her. This is supposed to be like she's talking to us right now.
Yes.
She thinks that she's talking to us and trying to like win us over with her shit. In reality, she's just echoing into an echo chamber where it's just people echoing the same shit over and over. But let's continue.
Is that what people do to echo in an echo chamber?
Yeah, they echo in an echo chamber.
Right. Like, oh, okay, thriving food scene, beautiful scenery. Oh, and it says here we'll go to jail for existing. Okay. It's rough out here on these streets, fam. And you can't even have this conversation without talking about how LGBTQ plus people are disproportionately victims of violent crimes, especially if they're people of color.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know.
She's talking about herself still, because she said that she's queer and she's a person of color. So she's got to make sure she hits the queer and the person of color part again to let you know that she is really in a lower group that needs to be protected or lifted up or whatever.
Which is a topic for an entire monologue by someone who is far more qualified than me. But I do know that if you want to support the community,
I think she means dialogue.
Organizations like the Trevor Project. Just go to the trevorproject.org. And if you enjoyed Love Simon, you have to go to the site right now. Right now.
Oh my God.
Since I started this show, I've had a lot of people online say things like, why does she talk so much about being a bisexual woman of color? First of all, I talk about my dog and The Rock way more, so get your facts straight. Okay? And second, no one else on late night can talk about it. So why wouldn't I use this opportunity to start a discussion? I mean, everybody talks about themselves. The majority of rap songs are about having heterosexual sex. At this point, I know more about Kim and Kanye's sex life than I'm comfortable with. Yet no one calls out rappers for talking about who they are. Listen, you don't get to be the majority and tell me how many times I can celebrate who I am. If you have a problem with me talking about being bi or a woman of color, that's fine. You're 100% entitled to your own opinion. And you can talk all about it on your TV show. Oh, wait, you don't have one.
You don't have one.
Oh my God, she got us so bad, this evil white man. She got us so bad.
She's having a monologue talking about having a dialogue because of her monologue.
Having a dialogue,
a discussion,
a discussion. And the dialogue
by having a monologue. She's like, this needs to be heard. It's like, well, there's a lot of things that I mean, I listen to death metal. Does that need to be heard? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that should be it should be a new genre of death metal where they talk about killing.
Just like they have, it's just spoken word.
I mean, they have what?
I find the corpse. I dig the corpse up. I bury it again.
Let's take a look. We have fetus annihilator. We have cattle decapitation. We have all these bands. Job for a Cowboy. All these bands that talk about killing.
Yeah, they're in a different group.
Yeah, but it's like, why not have a death metal band that does it's a good thing?
An LGBTQ death metal band?
That would be fire. They're good.
With whoever you feel like. Make sure you let everybody know. Today you're feeling more manly. Less pansexual than before. Yeah.
I came out of the closet. I would fucking totally listen to that.
Oh Jesus! But like that's a lot of the. I think that's the direction people are going with a lot of the comedy, dude. Is that.
So let them.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like I don't see how anybody. I think there's actually people that thinks it's funny.
Like it's just like me, dude. If people are listening to the top 40, let them fucking listen to top 40. I'm listening to what I want to listen to. Or if people like painting portraits, I like painting landscapes. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to do what it is that I want to do. So the only thing is, don't come to me and say you need to paint a portrait or you need to listen to top 40, because I would like to fuck you. So why would you tell me what to do on stage when I'm doing stand-up?
On the show, you play a single.
Why worry about it? Why pander to them? And why give a shit? Just go up there, and if you hit it out of the ballpark and you beat everyone in that club to death with what you're doing, who gives a fuck?
Right. All right, we got Mindy Kaling here for you. She's on fucking Conan. Let me make sure it's not sharing the right screen, is it? No, don't share that screen. Technical difficulties.
Pokey Talk Time.
Pokey Talk Time. Is it showing it now? It's showing.
I see it. I see it. I see it.
All right, we're gonna fucking watch.
She's with Conan.
Mindy Kaling with Conan.
A woman who is dating, and I would think, as the boss, do you get to pick the actors, the male actors that you get to interact with?
That's like why I did the show. Yeah. No, it's true. It does, and you know the show on TV.
Never heard of it, but it sounds great. It sounds really great.
You never heard of The Office?
Oh, that's her. That's her only thing is she used to be on The Office, and I guess she did some writing in it, and she's been writing on that ever since, pretty much. Like everywhere she goes, she's probably like, I gotta pitch you this new show. I'm Mindy Kaling, and they're like, who the fuck is Mindy Kaling? And oh, you don't remember me from The Office? Remember, I was the one Indian girl on The Office. Remember, and I wrote in it.
Not to talk about me at all, but
I was a writer and was a star on it. I won a bunch of Emmys.
I've never watched The Office. I've never watched The Louis Show. I never watched Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It's like
I've never watched Titanic. Just happened.
Why don't you want to watch the Titanic? What do you have against powerful women, Tom?
Something you would say.
All right, let's listen to some Mindy.
That's great. I was a writer and I was a star on it. I won a bunch of Emmys.
She won a lot of Emmys and all that.
Yeah, I got it.
So
it largely wasn't the case.
What preconceived notions did you have about my house?
Well,
that will tell you a lot about what you think of me.
Well, I thought that you would have, you're a very tall guy,
right.
that you'd have this long, enormous, huge bed. And I thought that maybe there wouldn't be like Gandalf's house. and I have a new show now.
Oh.
I'm the star. It's even named after me because I created it. Can you believe it?
I can't.
And I'm actually with someone.
Oh.
I'm dating someone new.
This is Mindy Kaling's funny moment.
Not that many windows.
Could you tell if somebody actually?
He still dwells above ground.
I would like to be a lot of skylights.
Let me ask you a question, Mindy, okay?
Yeah.
You think I went to some poor-ass country with a bunch of poor-ass kids for a whole year of my life so I could lose this? No way. I'd die before I lose this breakup.
Okay.
You know what, guys? This is probably not the best place to have
Jimmy,
this conversation.
it's a fine place, all right? Just close your handsome mouth for once in your life, all right? It's like the worst kind of sexual harassment because I'm like the boss.
Isn't that weird? But
you can't complain, or they're scared to complain.
It's perfect.
Because I'll fire them.
So this is funny because it's a woman in charge, and she's doing the sexual harassing. So she's getting men back for it. And it's funny that she is saying exactly what a man would say. I'm the boss, so they can't complain or I'll fire them. That's funny because it's a woman saying it now. So normally, like in comedy, how you flip things on top of each other, it's funny. But the fact that it's like fucking like, I'm strong and I'm in charge and that's what makes it not funny.
The thing that makes it not funny is that it's inherently wrong to hold any position of power over anybody if not the certain sexual things are
right. If she was talking about,
or woman, that's what's not funny.
Right. If she was talking about something else where she flipped the script and made it a woman thing, it might be funny.
It depends,
but in this case, it's like, I'm the boss. If they complain about me touching their ass, then they get fired. It's funny. Look at me. I'm gonna take a little sip from my cup.
Conan's like, I gotta deal with this bullshit. Like, these are the people I gotta have on TV. Otherwise, I get in trouble with my fucking overly liberal fucking producers.
You You ever hear Hicks's bit where he has Jay Leno interviewing Joey Lawrence?
No.
He's like, oh my God. It's like, so what are you doing? You here and there? You got a girlfriend? Well, she's like more into me. And he goes, what am I doing with my fucking life? And he starts to take some Uzi and starts shooting himself in the mouth. And it sprays a fucking NBC peacock on the wall behind him.
Oh, Jesus.
That's funny.
Let me see what this is.
The funny is subjective. Let's get it straight. Funny is subjective. We understand that. But what I don't get is like, what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. She will smash you for things like that, but she will go to a country like, I mean, we all have German jokes when you hear because they're easy.
Yeah.
In a sense, but her whole thing is doing that. But what I don't get is at the same time, that is essentially shitting on a native culture.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know
like,
I mean?
so she's.
It's like, okay.
Going into another country and shitting on people.
Well, yeah, it's just like, you know, these people, they always want to fucking like tell you that you're being dirty or nasty or you're being insensitive to other cultures or whatever the hell you're doing. And they'll go and be in Germany, get on stage, and 90% of their material is about Germans. And I'm like, well, there's an indigenous culture for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's okay because they're white people is what it is.
Yeah.
If she went to fucking Nigeria and fucking was like, hey, I come in here and you know, I go to my hotel. You think it's a hotel? No, it's made out of mud. What is that? Are you serious? They would shit and fucking destroy her. It's like, what's with all the flies on the fucking skinny kids in the streets?
Yeah.
It's like, they walk around with no shoes.
I'm in Lagos, right? And I'm trying to watch Netflix and the fucking power goes out.
It's like, what do they got fucking... They got a black guy on a fucking bike powering this city? What the hell is going on here? She would get fucked. It's like,
that was such a turn.
Like, when I first got into the country, I was a little freaked out about all the flies everywhere. But then I slowly realized that the flies only land on the smelly indigenous people that live there. And me, a white person that washes himself, doesn't get flies. If you did a joke like that, like I went to Afghanistan, and these people were wiping their ass with their hands. It's like, seriously, you motherfuckers ever heard of toilet paper before? I went to India and I watched a little 6-year-old boy take a shit in the street. What kind of fucking country are you running here?
And wipe his ass with a rock.
Yeah.
With a fucking rock.
Yeah, you would get fucking destroyed. But because it's Germany, it's the same thing. You'd shit on America. He's
just a fucking mean person, man. And the thing is, this dude, is very important not to dwell. Let's fucking find something funny to talk about. Like, these people are just like adolescent. Like they have nothing. So why are we going to involve ourselves with their nothingness? Let's find something who is funny.
I think it's punching up. Well, it's not really okay, it looks like we're punching down right now, but in reality, because of the way that they acted, they put themselves above us, we're punching up. So it's kind of like it looks like, because of how bad it is, we're just finding shitty things and we're just hammering it. But the way their conceitedness and their like superiority that they put out, like, I mean, look how fast, look how fucking fast it happened, that whole thing with the Facebook group, that they were just like,
they shut it down. Shut it down, bro.
Why? Because we didn't do
by the way,
what they did.
To clear the air, we're not saying that we are amazing comics. We're not.
Oh no, I don't. I mean, definitely
we may not even be better than they are. As a matter of fact, you can go to Tom Franklin Art, and you can see a little bit of my stand-up, or you can go to, I don't know if you have one of your older channels, you have some of your stuff. We're not saying we're these great dudes, man. What we're saying is we're all on this boat paddling up shit creek trying to figure out how to be better at this. Why then be in this like looking down at me because I don't do it the way you do it? It's just beyond my comprehension. And it's like, seriously, go fuck your fat self with a fucking broken dildo. I don't care. Put it in your fistula, you fucking cunt.
So I was shitting out my pussy again the other day.
It's like a pirate ship. And it was a wall.
Oh my God. Like, see, that's improvised. The things that we've improvised, but that's the thing too. They can't even say that they're better improvisers because I've seen the things that you've improvised on the stage. Yeah. Fucking great, like just out of nowhere things. And I've improvised a lot of stuff on stage that was like, so you can't tell me that like, because she was like, okay, get on stage. You have to think of something random. And I'm spontaneous. Here we go. You can't get on the pirate ship.
Like we're planned. Because we have things we want to do, but we're also open for being spontaneous. So basically the audience we're basically doing improvisational comedy, but when they either heckle us or you see someone doing something, or you'll say a joke line, a punchline, and one person may not like it, and they'll say something else, and you take that and flip it on its ass. We're doing all that at the same time we're operating our material. So yeah. I don't know, man. I've never done improvisational comedy, but I'm not saying it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but I don't see why the thing is that we notice that they like to shit on stand-up comedy, like at least improvisational comedy for them, not for the most part, but I've definitely have encountered it. And I've never seen the need for it or seen like how they could say that ours is easier when we, as stand-up comedians, think it's not. it's really hard, and you'll see there's some that can take the jump from one to the other and go vice versa, but you'll see more often than not that when people come from improvisational comedy over to stand-up comedy, that it's not gonna you see a lot of them not do well. That's for sure.
Well, that's the thing. Like we always talk about like crowd work and shit. You don't have to be as funny because they absolutely know that it's happening right now. And there's something inherently funny about improvising that way. And of course, like you're supposed to try to mask some of your stand-up with that feeling of being improvisational. But like to say that you're superior because of that is fucking ridiculous, because I mean, like, the only thing funny about what she did, or what people might have thought was funny about what she did, was the fact that she came on stage and that the thing that she thought was, this is my pirate ship, you can't get on it, just out of nowhere, like, oh my God, where did that come from? Pirate ship. And the other person like has to quickly think, but I want to go on the pirate ship. And then she's like, what's the password? What's the password? And then the other person, she's like, I think I'm just gonna start touching the wall randomly because I'm random.
If you see people, like if you're sitting in an audience, like for example, and you see something like that, and you're in the audience and you see people laughing at something like that, you like hate that person. You're like, we can't be friends. But if you look across the way and there's another person looking at you like, what the hell is this? And you're like, I'm gonna hang out with that person. But it's the same thing too. Like if you're in a comedy club and you see somebody go up there and you see them say the raunchiest, whatever, something just amazing, and you're laughing, gut laughing, and the person next to you is not, you're like, what is your fucking problem? Yeah. Did you not just hear that? And then you see a dude cracking in the front, you're like, I'm gonna buy that dude a beer. But it's like I said, it's subjective, but there is a scale, bro. I mean, come on, man.
There's a spot
you improvising stuff, like the things you do, is like it's plus they get suggestions from the crowd. But first of all, a lot of that stuff fits within a framework. Right. There's certain games that are played where we're gonna do this, if we're going to do that, this person does this person does that, we need this, we need that from the audience. Okay, boom, now we go. And they've done it 1,000 times, and of course you get better at it. I mean, we also have tricks. We have reverses. We do a lot of things. There's tricks that every comedian learns through time. But the part that we like about it is where for me, it's the hidden angle that you didn't see coming, or the way it's presented, that where it could be something completely awful, but you make it such a compelling case for it to be good. Yeah. And those are the things where you're just like, and convince you in a sense, and makes you laugh at the same time. But that right there, that was god awful. That was awful.
Yeah, now I'm starting to feel kind of bad. Feel kind of bad that I put it up there like that. I feel like I have to show some of my horrible things that I.
Yeah, so put some of my bombs up there too. Put some of my flubs.
I'm not worried about. It's the difference is I didn't go up there and bomb and then come down and go, I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Like. Or like you get like, that's like me like saying I'm a well-known or a pretty well-known comedian in Frankfurt. That's where we did all our stand-up. Most of it, I've been other places too, but mostly in Frankfurt. That's like me being in the stand-up scene, pretty well-known comic, going to the improv scene and telling them, what are you doing this pirate joke for? You need to do more dick jokes. You guys fucking stink. Yeah. And I'm better than you. Like what is this lame shit? But if I flipped it over and was more what's the word? Woke, which is the worst word ever. I'd rather be awake than woke any fucking day. And it'd just be super woke when they said something about pirates. Like, a lot of those pirates, them motherfuckers only had like one leg. So you're making fun of amputees? What about amputee porn? Are you into that, you fucking skank? It just like go that way towards them. And just like, they would have to go, oh, which could be funny too. But I don't know why play those games, man. And it's just childish, man. It comes down to being insecure, having a shitty dad who fucking rather drink beer and fucking belch all day and watch football instead of talking to his little girl or his little boy than to spend time with them. And then later on in life, taking it out on everybody else who doesn't think like you. Yeah, I gotta fucking mute this shit. Or it's probably, I guess it's time for me to stop because of the fucking music. Well, Tom, it was great. I know we didn't go into a lot of just funny shit the whole time. We went into some thoughts and ideas and darkness and light and whatever. But well, maybe you'll get something out of it. Maybe I was a little. I'm sure I will. I mean, I don't know how much I really want to cut either. Like, to be honest, because I don't want to go through. It looks like it's almost 4 hours now that we've been going. Is that how long it's been? Okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to go through 4 hours of video. I might just post it the way it was. Say fuck it. Try to cut through. See if I'm sure nobody said any bad words. But don't worry, we're not famous enough to get good fucking whatever Me Too or whatever. Crucified or whatever. Fucking canceled. But yeah, it's great. I mean, like we have these talks all the time, which is great, and always. That's why I thought it would be great to have you on the show. And then the show. It's funny, I'm talking like this is a real. Okay, it's a real show, Leno. I guess. Take it easy, Leno. But I thought it'd be great to have you on here, and everybody, Tom Franklin, I'm going to post the links and everything in the video. I'm going to post it in the I'm also YouTube. On Instagram, but I don't do much on there. I just post my paintings and shit. Check it out. Like I said, check out my stand-up. Check out my fucking music. And more to come once I get to where I'm going. I'm going to definitely hit the painting stuff much harder in my YouTube channel, much harder. I got a lot of work to do. And then you'll get to see about, how Tom gets chicken shit out of his shoes. You'll find about that too. Oh, but seriously, like we always had fun. That was one of the things that made it great doing stand up with you in Frankfurt. And I don't watch. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch all your paint videos all the way through, but I've watched quite a few of them, and it's kind of like a sucks you in, and you just I don't know. It's like a Zen type thing.
Unlike you, where it's more chaos and like the cat's asshole. Oh, he turned perfectly. You believe that? You must have toxoplasmosis because you've been eating your cat's shit.
Well, I mean, you're multifaceted dude too, and I feel like that's how we can relate too. That we have so many different. We're not just one-trick ponies.
We're very similar. You know, there's a lot of those times when we went to KGB, which is Kunstgegenbares in Germany, which is like a talent show where different types of acts come up. And if there's any type of decent musician that came up there, they would beat the comic every time because people start clapping. Yeah. And I just so many times I just want to go to my fucking practice room, pull out my 412 100 watt fucking Engel Powerball and rip a fucking D chord and just show them that I can do what they did about 15 times better. So I've been doing music way longer than I've been doing stand-up. And that's the thing that you've done music a lot. You show me some of your older stuff, a lot of screamo. I was more into like death metal and shit like that. You're more into the screamo. Right. And so I've always found like we have a very similar background. We have a very similar with the things we've done in life, the people we've married in life, the things we've done in life, and we've like the meaning of the minds. And I was like real sad because I thought like there's a lot of people you meet friends and they go away or they get another job or something, and then you like never meet them again. But you and I have always been in contact because there was a lot of problems we were having about the scene, personal life, and we would always kind of like talk to one another a little bit, and you would like sometimes you come at me because you can be pretty neurotic, and I go, and I just go, dude, you got to chill out a little bit, man. And they're like, and you'll do that to me too. Like I'm not feeling today. You'll be like, it's like that sometimes, and I go, oh fuck, it ain't just me. And it's good to like suffer with somebody like you, my friend. Yeah,
man, I appreciate it, and it's not like a one-time thing too. Like with the interview thing or whatever. I want to have you back on definitely sometime, and then maybe I was thinking even having sometimes multiple people, and we can have 3-person. We can have a three-way. We can have a fucking sexy 3-way on here.
Yeah, we'll get Curdy on this bitch.
Yeah, we'll throw him on here. I was gonna get him on here anyway by himself, but like it would be cool we get all 3 of us on here too. And,
the fucking.
Like I said, I don't know if it's really something everybody wants to watch
the trifecta of doom, baby.
Yeah, but those were good. I mean, I wish we would have done more with that, but it's obviously.
Oh, but you were like, because he was the kind of guy who wants to like kind of run it in a way. I was kind of either way, and you were kind of like you would just start ranting, and I would be laughing in the back, and all it would be was you ranting and me laughing. That's what it would turn out.
Well, that's what we're missing. I think that's what we were missing in this conversation. I think we were missing Kurthy, like. Because I feel like bounced
trying
off.
To rein you in? Trying
to rein me in and bounce, like we kind of bounce off everything, but...
Like he like reins it in, and then he shoots your direction in another way, and then you follow that, and then he reins you in again. Yeah, he just lets you go.
Yeah, or gives you ideas, or like points you in a direction to shoot.
Right, if this is the Opie and Anthony show, he's Opie, not any negative connotation on it. Try to keep it in line.
Of course, he's still funny. Obviously, he's funny. But, like,
yeah, of course. I'm not saying he's not. And you're more like Anthony ranting. He's fucking, how could Obama be? And I'm more like Jim Norton, like just fucking throwing little jabs and like just fucking placating both sides. So yeah, we can definitely do it in the future, man. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, cool. I'm gonna cut the stream here, but then if you want to talk for a minute before we're done.
Nah, man. Yeah, sure, for a second.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. I'm gonna stop it now. Goodbye.